And there we go, now with the mic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? Hello, Throwback, how are you guys doing? Wow, what an absolute amazing couple of hours. Oh, we have you again over on Twitch. You remember, you told me last time how to pronounce your name. Lots of news. Yes, there is lots of news. But hello over on Twitch. Hello, who we have as well. We also have Vexigon, we have Recycled David, we have Snorri, I think. Is that the same David? That's a new David. We have 2 times David. Telecaster. Sedex, Renee, Timmy, Jerry, Black Spartan, the Judge, and let's just get here. We have Tall Guy, Netherland, Shinsian, Dump, and String Theory as well, Commander Barthen. Good evening, everybody. Oh, I'm just gonna get this is last Darksons. We have Adber, I think. Warrenstein, good evening, Warrenstein, and Dansta. Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so if you watched Hello Dave yesterday, you will know that I originally had planned to do like a combat live stream. We're still gonna do that. I'm still gonna go out. We're still gonna go up and blow some things up. But obviously, the second Dev Diary launched a day early. And before we jump in game, I just want to quickly. I know there's already been like a billion gazillion videos posted, and everybody's scrambling to make videos right now. Me as well. If it feels like I'm stalling for time here at the beginning, that's because I am. Because right here in the background, my video on the Dev Diary is currently rendering. So I just need that to finish before we jump in game. So that's running there. But no, I just want to talk about what actually happened, because a lot of you will probably have seen the announcement. I think it was from yesterday. Get some water here. Where Frontier said they were going to launch the Dev Diary on Wednesday, which would be tomorrow. Now, I haven't had the video ready yet because we were expecting some hopefully we're going to be able to get some of the stills they were using, get some of the shots like before the video go out, so we could have videos ready for when the embargo was meant to lift tomorrow. But then all of a sudden, of course, the link began floating around on Reddit, and then the video was quickly made private, and it took a while before someone then managed to get a rip of it up, which eventually happened. But what happened was that a news site, I don't know which one, but I know that some news site, obviously they got access to the video beforehand, just as some of the content creators, we also got access to it beforehand, so we could have videos ready for when the embargo lifts. But the news site then like jumped the gun, posted the article early. I don't know whether it was an accident, whether it was an accident. Sometimes news sites often like to be first. I'm not gonna point fingers and blame. It could just be an honest mistake. It could also be that the value of being first is very high, so by accidentally posting the video early, you get lots of attention. And of course, then Frontier tries to do a little damage control, but when it's out, it's out. There's nothing you can do. Somebody will have ripped it, and it didn't take more than like half an hour, and there were like copies of it up everywhere, and people were and it was up everywhere. And that of course meant, since I hadn't recorded my video, because we were still waiting for that little bit extra, some of the stills, maybe answers to a few questions we had regarding the video. So a lot of us were sitting waiting to record, and I was actually planning to record after the live stream today. and then have it then render over the night, and then post it, upload it in the morning, and then in the afternoon when the embargo was meant to be lifted, then the video would be ready and it would go out. But we got, I think, about 5 minutes notice saying, hey guys, by the way, we're gonna post it now, and thereby also lifting the embargo. And that meant, of course, since I know nothing recorded, I then spent, I think, about half an hour recording, which is, I think, half an hour prep time, where I just like went over the video again, wrote myself some notes, half an hour of recording, and then I did an absolute speed edit in half an hour, so an hour and a half from I first began working on the video till it was done and rendered. Well, it was rendering, it's now rendering here in the background. And I'll then upload it after the live stream so you guys can see it there. Water droplets on chin? No. Are you going to play your video on the stream today? That would actually be quite fun. If you guys want to, we can watch the video. Obviously not now. It's gone. Okay, thank you. But we'll have to wait a little bit. Still, oh, just jumped up to 8 minutes left now. So it's still rendering. Give it a little bit of time. Thank you, Chidburn. Quinburn. We can watch it if you want to. It's gonna be confusing, both listening to me and the video, but I could probably put that up if you guys want to watch it. But while we wait for that, let's just talk about the other thing. And that is that on the, is it 27? When is it? Hold on, let me check this here real quick. Commander's Toolbox. I can take you guys with me here. That was that one. Where's the other thing? Here we go. From October 27, Elite Dangerous Horizons will be available for all Elite Dangerous owners as part of the base game. Click here to learn more. That's actually quite amazing, I think. So everybody, regardless of platform, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, if you don't have Horizons, you will get it for free on October 27th. Of course, they're doing this because they know that after Odyssey releases, if you have new players you want to onboard, if they have to then buy the base game, then buy Horizons, and then buy Odyssey, that's going to be a lot of money you have to invest in order to get the full gaming experience. So they're basically saying from now on Horizon is free, and it's just that whole series all the way up to what we have now. But that doesn't mean, yes, as Snorri that also put here, let me just put those in there. If we just quickly open up the link here to the actual site, if you don't have it yet, it is, I think, on sale from now on until October 27th. There is still a point in buying it, because you will get this paint job here, which they call the Asia paint job, and you will get that for all ships currently in the game. I like that, currently in the game. More ships incoming confirmed. And there were some other things. But SRVs too, maybe. It's painted for all ships. Just say ships. I don't think that means SRVs as well. But anyway, you get a free paint job, which I don't know how much it's discounted for, but if you want a free paint job for all your ships, then you can. And you can color match your fleet and it will look awesome. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. But that of course means that we now have at least a that means I think any beta will be after October 26th. What day of the week is that even? Oh wow, I'm in the way of the calendar here. Great. That is October 26th is a Monday. And it will, all right, so October 27th is then a Tuesday. So that Tuesday, after that, I think that's when we're going to, does that mean that we're probably going to see the beta right after that? That would be my guess. We're going to see the first beta for Odyssey not too long after October 27th. I think they're doing that at that point because if they want the people who take part in the beta to have Horizons, because it's probably going to be a prerequisite to actually have the game, or to actually play Odyssey. So yeah, I think it's a nice move. I was half expecting this to happen, but the extra paint jobs on top is awesome, and of course that means there are still a small incentive to go out and actually buy the game. They do look good, don't they? Until launch, if you want those paint jobs. Yeah, it could be, Christopher. That's a good point. That engineering has something to do with the whole first-person stuff. Since engineering is Horizon only, that's a very good point, and it may very well be that is the case. So Odyssey will be the only game client, and it won't let us walk if we don't. No, I mean, no, there will be other game clients. You can still play the game without Odyssey. Then you just have normally Horizons and of course all the stuff up and beyond. So everything we have today, you will have, and you can play the game exactly as you do today, with no change if you don't buy Odyssey. But you won't be able to get out of your ship, you won't be able to walk around and all the other stuff. That happens. Oh, hold on. Are you happy with the Road to Odyssey Part 2? Yeah, okay. Post that, Dog Lord. That's a good idea. Just a small straw poll. I think Dog Lord's gonna post a straw poll so we can basically get a quick user survey. What do you guys think? Are you happy with it? With what we saw in the dev diaries today, or are you still a little meh about it? What was the options even? There we go. That's the straw poll. I'm just gonna go and answer it myself. Not gonna tell you what I'm gonna answer. Where's the where's the dog to pet? Let's vote for that. Let's see what comes up with here. Oh, looking good so far. Okay. I've got a game would tie into the first person AI planets and yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, if the whole planetary landing, how are you gonna go planet side if you don't have Horizons in the first place? So yeah, it makes sense to bundle Horizon and the normal game into the same update. How is that render going? 92%. 2 minutes left of the render. Nice. Almost there. Lots of pings on Discord. Let's just quickly refresh the straw poll. Oh, it's also refreshing. Okay. We have 20 votes so far. Let's refresh this again. Oh, votes are still coming in. Okay, give that until the render is done. So you guys just have another another minute or so to vote. Then we're gonna look at the results. You just get chat back here so I can see the chat and get Discord out of the way as well. Let's get Astro and iMac plus Final Cut. I don't know. I like Vegas. It's nice, and normally I would render on the streaming PC, but obviously I wouldn't be able to both stream and render at the same time. That's not gonna happen at all. 30 seconds, and then it needs to do the final thing. It always takes a bit. I don't know what is Plato starting streaming as well. We can invite some people on and do some. I don't because okay, we are planning to do a proper roundtable on Saturday, and I don't want to basically get all the discussion out of the way now. That would be so we have nothing to talk about on Saturday. But yeah, I know everybody's streaming at the moment, and I'm gonna jump in game in a second, talk about the actual topic of today's live stream. But let's just go ahead and let's look at the votes here. Votes are 39 votes in. We can invite Plato if you want to. Hold on. Or Kai if Kai want to go. I'm just gonna hold on. If any of you guys want to join for a chat while I'm live, just yeah, just ping me. Smiley face. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's look at the results. We've got 44 votes in right now, and we have a 69% saying that they're very excited. We have 16% saying where's the dog to pet. We have 11% saying amazing, and only 5%, so 3 out of the 44 votes, says nothing new. Okay, I guess that's fair. Why does it say a 66 vote? Ah, okay, so 66 votes in total. Got it. 44 voted for that they're very excited. And 3 out of the 65 votes, there's still about 5% saying that there's nothing new. So I think the vast majority, we're at least up in the, assuming that the where's the dog to pet are still, they won't pets, but maybe I assume they are still a little, I hope, positive around it. But at least the 2 of them that are definitely positive, we are above 80%, which I think is pretty good. So, as I was expecting, overall, it's been received pretty well. Let's just go and check on that render. It's almost done now. We can almost jump in game. See? It always sits there at 100% saying no time left. And then you have to sit and wait. I think it's just, yeah, throwback. We'll watch the video. Relax. Hold on, the other screen then. So I can actually get that video file. It's gonna look, before we watch the video, just wanna, the colors are gonna look a little off. They're gonna look a little washed out when we play it back. And that's because YouTube does some post-processing on it. And I'm kind of compensating for some of the changes they do. They do some slight changes in the colors. So if the video looks a little flat in the colors, that's it, now it's done. If the video looks a little flat in the colors, then that's why. And yes, I want to save that. Okay, let me just get my folder in here so I can actually see that while I have the chat back on the other screen. There we go. Curious, what are your PC specs? Okay, PC specs. We can go with PC specs. Come on, PC specs. The other screen again. That's the problem with using one monitor for 2 PCs. They have to sit and switch between input sources if something opens up off screen. Okay, here we go. PC specs. Boop, 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 boop. So this is the main rig. The main rig is running a Ryzen 3950X. This is, of course, very fast when rendering. 32 gigs of memory, so we can have all those big files, all the big video files open at the same time in the editing software. NVMe Samsung disk, so very fast also. Good Ethernet connection, and a 2080 Ti. The other rig is like 1 generation older, basically. So it's a 1080, not Ti, just normal 1080 graphics card, and let me just check what processor is in this machine. This machine has a i7 6700K So that's a 4-core, 8 logical processors, and it's overclocked to around 5 gigahertz. So that's the one I usually use for live streaming, and I use it for rendering normally. But if I want stuff to be rendered a little faster, I put it over here, so that it runs on this PC. Okay. Should we watch the video? I guess we should watch the video. And I don't think I'm going to talk too much because I'm going to be talking in the video, and there's also going to be other voices and stuff going on, and it'll be a good time for me to review it. So I think what I'll actually do is I remove my camera here. Oh, and the background as well. There we go. We can keep chat up, and we'll put the video up, and you guys get a little chance to see it here. Frontier has just released the second dev diary for the Odyssey update, and I have so many questions. So let's go through the video together, and we'll talk about what we can deduct from the video and what we still need answered. Today's video is brought to you by GameGlass. GameGlass allows you to take control of your ship from a tablet or a phone. Not only that, but you also get on-screen information about your ship, your targets, and the world around you. So gone are the days where you have no more room for your key bindings, or you have to alt-tab out of the game to look up market data. On top of that, GameGlass also works with Star Citizens, so follow the link in the video description and try GameGlass for free. If you like it and want more shards and features, you can buy them individually, or you can subscribe to GlassPass. Use offer code DTEA on checkout and get 5% off your first purchase. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Astronomy. So many of you will probably have seen that the second dev diary is out, and I just want to go through the video. We're going to watch it together, and I'm going to pause it along the way. We're going to talk about both what we see, what are some of the things that we don't see, some of the things that I would really like answered. Here we go. Wonderful shot, love that. Asteroid station, if you didn't notice. Road to Odyssey.
So what's really unique about Odyssey in the Elite Dangerous universe is that for the very first time we're going to allow people to set foot on the planets and in spaceports and
okay, just going to pause here. First of all, we saw a little shot of a settlement. We're going to see more of those later in the video. So far I really like what they've been doing with the looks and the feel of them. If we just quickly jump back actually to the one we just saw here, there it is. You can see Astra's Hope 2. I'm wondering if this means that places like Dav's Hope is going to be transformed into settlements like this. And if that is the case, well, we will still be able to collect materials from Dav's Hope, because would there still just be stuff lying around everywhere that you just go freely pick up?
On the planets and in spaceports and explore the world in this new perspective.
We've tried to maintain what we felt was a core part of Elite, which is freedom of choice.
And we really embraced that with Odyssey and have transposed all of those careers back down onto an on-foot
nice.
experience.
I like that.
So when you're picking your base suit in Odyssey, you're really...
Okay, pausing there. Base suit, that raises so many questions. First of all, he says picking your base suit. I don't hope that it's going to be like you have one choice and then that is the base suit, but it's like a class. I hope that this is going to be something you can change as you go along. A little bit like ships, so it'll be equivalent to say, well, you pick your ship. Well, yes, we can swap between different ships for different tasks, and I hope we can also swap between different base suits. I'm assuming that is the case, but it's not stated clearly, so I just wanted to highlight that. Also, the fact that they call it base suit indicates that they're going to be upgradable. How that's going to work, of course, no idea. We really want that. I really want that answered, because is this going to be like modules you slot in that then change the stats of the suit? Is it going to be like engineering? Is it going to be, I mean, I don't know, but there are lots of options for how that could work. It could just be like, okay, you have your base, like a base armor suit, then you can maybe put like a tool belt on. You can have different helmets that has maybe different armor values, or you could put different armor plates on, and you could put a rucksack on or something like that. I don't know. lots and lots of options here, and I really hope that we're going to see more of that in the future, so we get an idea about how that whole system's going to work. I think it could be awesome if we could do suit builds, just as we do ship builds today. So you could basically say, I'm going to build a suit dedicated to mining or combat or exploration or whatever you want to do.
Really picking it based on the career and activities that you want to undertake. Each of the suits has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly.
So, for instance, there'll be a suit that skews towards exploration, a suit that skews towards
that looks
combat,
awesome, by the way.
a suit which you might want to wear if you were to go scavenging, hunting through wrecks to find bits of equipment that might be useful to you.
Odyssey will provide.
I just like the whole. I never actually thought about that, but the scavenging part of it, that makes perfect sense. That you go out, you find a crashed ship, you scavenge through it, collect materials. We don't really have salvaging per se in Elite as it is to now. It's kind of part of combat. Like when you shoot ships, they drop materials you can collect.
By players with a clear choice. They're free to take missions.
Okay, here we get a good look at that sign that we saw earlier on in the video. The Apex Interstellar Transport, they're going to come back to that later in the video. That is awesome. That is probably the biggest game changer in Odyssey as I see it. This is going to completely change the game. The lounge, I think we're seeing some shots from that later on, and my theory is that the lounge subscript, the pilot bar, is like a social hub where you go and you meet other players. So how that whole multiplayer aspect of it work is also something I hope we can dive into in the future. Pioneer Supplies, plenty of shots coming up for that. That's basically like a store where you buy weapons and consumable equipment, all that kind of stuff. Frontline Solutions, not sure where that is. They do show a shot of it later. We'll pause when we get to that, but I don't know what it is. Then we have an Inter Astra. Don't really know what that is. But maybe that's some kind of like part of the upgrade part of the suit. I don't know. That's the only thing that I haven't really covered. Maybe it's the mission boards. But then there's one that got me quite excited, and that is the Vista Genomics, I think. That's quite awesome. Are we talking like cybernetic implants here? That would be awesome if we could get cybernetic implants for our characters. That could also be a way to basically upgrade your character by putting different cybernetics in. But again, if we have cybernetics, what's going to happen? I mean, you're not just going to go out and rip out your eye socket and replace it, unless you guys have a default socket installed in your skull that you can just like unplug one eye and plug another one in, depending on what you want to do. I don't know, but I like the idea, and I hope we're going to see more of that and get some answers to that.
Either from mission boards or mission givers, or players can go out and explore.
So we allow the player to disembark at outposts, planet ports, spaceports. So all of these are great places to find work and undertake missions, but also now you can go to our new settlements, which are a kind of more Dust Bowl.
Okay, so he does mention that we can see Astro's Hope that these are new settlements, so they don't specifically say what's going to happen at the existing settlements. There seems like maybe there's going to be settlements that you can't go into and settlements that you can.
Wild West towns that you'd found on the edges of civilization.
When you find these settlements, I think you'll want to travel into them and see what the lay of the land is, see what options and opportunities they offer, and decide which way you're going to play.
With Odyssey, for the first time, we'll have fully modelled and fully animated characters appearing in game, and they will feel part of the universe and extend the narrative that's there.
They will be moving through these spaces. You'll be able to interact with them.
Oh, there we get the first shot of both the Apex Interstellar Travel, which is like a transport agency, and we get a good look at the Pioneer Supply Shop, and we can look inside now. We can see weapons hanging on the wall, and there's like other equipment there to the left of the counter, like boxes and crates there in the front. We get a better shot inside the store later, but basically, yeah, like a general store that sells, well, weapons and everything else, it seems.
And some of them will speak to you, so we've had to work on getting those performances right.
It's a whole new way of exploring the game. You'll hear the settlement, how alive it is. You'll hear announcers.
So there you have the shot inside the Pioneer Supplier. There's going to be plenty more of those.
Go into buildings and the soundscape changes. It's the very first time that you're experiencing the sounds of Elite Dangerous, not inside a ship or inside a little vehicle, but inside a body.
Meeting people who you can relate to in places is the way you can feel grounded in this quite fantastical universe. And there's going to be a lot of players transferring from the main game who have never experienced this before, but will understand how it feels to be in that universe.
All of the NPCs that you encounter in Odyssey are all generated as part of the background sim. So if I go to a port...
Oh, two things here now. First of all, Frontline Solutions. I talked about earlier that we didn't really get any... I didn't really know what it was, but we kind of get a counter here. We can see there's a system map up. So it seems like maybe it's like a mission counter. They did say there were both mission givers and the mission board. So it seems like there are at least two different ways you can pick up missions. I don't know if Frontline Solutions has something to do with that. Maybe it's like basically go and be guns for hire. Something like, I don't know. But I would love to hear what you think Frontline Solutions is going to be in the comment section. The other thing that I mentioned was that the NPCs are tied into the background simulation. That is awesome. The way I think this is going to work is if you have a system, let's say that that's owned by a Empire faction, for instance, then you can go into a station that maybe there will be like Empire banners here and there, and then maybe the system's then flipped over and taken over by either independent or federal faction, and then some of the art style inside the stations might change. But I could also imagine that maybe the way the NPCs act and talk to you is going to change. I mean, if you have a system that is let's say it's corporate, maybe they're going to act to you in a very like, hey, they're always going to like upsell you everything. Or maybe if it's go anarchy, they're going to be a lot more rough with the way they talk to you. I don't know.
Or a settlement, the NPCs that I'm going to find there will be affiliated with the faction that owns that settlement. So we're driving some personality into our NPCs via the background sim connection, and I think that's an amazing addition.
Agreed.
One of our new features and new characters works for a corporation called Apex Interstellar.
That's one.
Players will be able to book journeys to and from ports within jump range. This gives a way for those players to actually move around the galaxy for a relatively cheap fee.
Okay, as I said at the beginning, Apex Interstellar transporters or whatever is going to be such a massive game changer. First of all, and you can be in one station and you can book a journey to transport you to another station. Then you will be in another station. You don't have a spaceship. That means you need to take a transport back to a station where you have. But where you have ships, of course, if you want to go back out. That makes sense. Or I would assume you can also order a ship transfer just as you can today to get your ships over there if you want to. But again, the question is then, they say within jump range. Jump range of what? Does that mean that the Apex thing basically has like a fixed jump range you can go? What about like travel times? Are these gonna be instant? Are there gonna be like delays in between, a little bit like there's with fleet carriers? Do we have to wait? Because if it's just go up, pay your fee, you spawn, let's say 30 light years away, you can travel, I would assume, very quickly across the bubble. Now imagine I could go up to a counter, they said it was a small fee, pay a little bit of credits, and instantly get transported 20 light years. I will go up to the counter in that station and get transported 20 light years again, and again, and again, and again. It would probably add up to some cost. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I would probably be able to travel quite quickly across the bubble, depending on the jump range, depending on where you spawn. If you spawn right in front of the counter, it would be very quick. But I think this is an awesome idea, and as they're also going to talk about later on in the video, this pretty much opens up to the Elite being played completely without spaceships. You could do a completely on foot only character. Something I'm pretty sure I'll do just for the fun of it.
And experience gameplay away from the ports themselves.
So within the on-foot gameplay, the primary way of earning credits is to actually undertake missions and obviously complete them successfully. But you can also do some slightly more nefarious acts. Maybe you'll go to settlements and steal items and sell them onto the black market.
I think this is the bar. We saw like a shot of it just on the previous shot here. We just go back a little bit here. I think that is obviously a bar, but the reason why I think this is like a gathering hub is if you look at the size of it, that's quite a large amount of space that has been allocated to a bar, kind of indicating there's going to be a lot of players. The purpose of the bar, I would like to see or hear anything about what's the idea with it. Is it a gathering hub? Is it just for fun and games? Is this maybe like often the place you would go to pick up missions, if you're doing some little, maybe not as official work, I don't know, stuff like that.
Market, or you could become an explorer and collect samples from our new organic life.
With Odyssey, we've worked really hard to maintain player agency. We want players to have the choice about how they play Elite. If players want to continue in their ship gameplay, absolutely. If they want to engage in on-foot gameplay, perfect. If they want to do both, even better.
Hold on. Can we just go back here and see that space from the cockpit view again? Oh, right. So we can actually see it down here. I just want to see if we could see the outside of the building we're looking at. Those windows there, you can see them right here behind the little hologram there. The tall vertical windows.
Players want to continue in their ship gameplay, absolutely.
It's the same windows we see here, I think. It does look like, from this view at least, that you're not going to be able to fly over and like park your ship in front of it and look in through the windows. These doesn't look transparent. So I don't know if the station interiors, like the on-foot station interiors, is going to be loaded when you are in your ship. Because that doesn't look like I can look into the bar. That just looks like, assuming that is it. It looks like that's it. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's difficult to say, but looking from this view here, these are the same windows we see here. It looks like this is definitely the place. We can't see all 4 of them, but I'm pretty confident that is it.
And that really has always been at the heart of Elite. It's not the game we're telling you how to play it, it's the game that you are creating your own story in.
Okay, here again a little later we get another pretty good view of the station interior. Again, this is just one station. I would assume we have different art styles for different stations. And we also begin to kind of get a feeling for the size. It seems like this is going to be the main area within all the different shops out towards the sides. I would assume that's going to be the size of it. Maybe there's a hangar area somewhere behind. We haven't seen what's behind the camera right now, that area. So I don't know, but, well, at least I think this is the size we're going to be expecting to see the station interiors to be.
We're really looking forward to seeing how our players take that story forward and how they develop it.
So that was the second Dev Diary, and just as last time, I have so many questions I would love to have answered. I like the direction they're going, and especially like the Apex thing and the fact that the game seems to be completely playable on an on-foot side of it. You might argue, well, why do you want a space sim where you're not going to fly spaceships? That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that the amount of gameplay, the amount of stuff they're adding is not just going to be an add-on to that existing game. Is almost going to be like a completely separate game they're going to merge into Elite. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section, and I hope we're going to get some answers from Frontier to some of the questions I've raised today. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space. There we go. That was the video. Now, I actually have someone with me now while we have been watching videos. Hello, Plater. Well,
hello.
I'm live now, by the way, just so.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure you got. Oh, you're a little outside, maybe. I'm just gonna pull you down a little bit. There we go. Okay. You're live as well, I assume, right?
Yes, I am.
What an absolute hectic evening.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I've got to get my game up and running now. I've been rendering live.
Wow, okay.
Benefits of dual PC setups.
Yeah, be handy. Blimey. So, what did you think of the Dev Diary then?
I love it.
Yeah.
My god. Just give it to me now. No. I really think they've done a great job. Now that we have a little bit more, I think, expectation management, and we kind of know what to expect from the Dev Diaries in terms of like length and how deep they're going with it. Awesome. I like it. Oops, get the right screen here. Really, really positive, and I'm a little surprised about this. The station interior seems to be a little smaller than I first anticipated. But okay, fair enough. I can live with it. I mean, I don't know how much gameplay is going to be there. I think it's going to be a bit like the stations we have now. I mean, there's not that much gameplay just sitting docked. The main part of the gameplay is going to be like get outside on a planet, on anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree on that one. One thing that I kind of just had a quick thought about was the if you notice where kind of the lounge was, or where the lounge looked to be, it was like right by landing pads.
Yes.
In between them. And I get the distinct feeling what will happen is that everyone who lands at a particular station, when they get out of their ship, they will be in the same place. They'll be in the same like concourse, where you can then go and go to the lounge if you want, but you'll end up in the same lounge regardless of whereabouts you've landed on the station. Because otherwise, could you imagine walking kilometers to go and?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work at all. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be in the same area as well. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you did. We saw the clip right at the start where you see the Cobra flying outside and some guy standing looking out. Yep. We saw the same clip from the cockpit view, where you can actually see the building, and the windows are not transparent.
That's interesting.
I pointed out in the video I just showed on my stream, but when you were flying outside, you could, and I actually had a better look at it. You can actually. Oh wait, my face cam is still hidden. Thank you, Duncan Laura. Whoops. There we go. Face cam's back. Although the windows were not transparent when you're outside, this could just be because that has not been implemented yet. But I don't know. It just seems like it would be such a shame if you can clearly stand inside and see the ships out there. But if I wouldn't be able to sit in my ship, fly down, and just like poke the window with the nose of my ship, and then wave to someone inside, that I know it's a small thing and it's a lot to load that stuff because there could potentially be a lot of players in there, so there could be a performance thing. But still,
I think a lot of it could depend on how they do the rendering, because they could either do a separate type of rendering based on if you're a person or if you're in a ship. Yeah, so the ship has a certain scale, but then you've just got like telemetry telling you where everything should be, and it kind of renders it in, but it's a different scale, so it's not as detailed versus if you're on foot.
You wouldn't. Ship, you wouldn't need the same level of detail. Agreed.
Yeah. But then, what happens if we're going to be in an SRV and on foot at the same time next to a ship?
Yes. And
or someone's in the ship.
Somebody actually made a good point, because they talked about all those settlements, and I was talking about what about the existing settlements like Daph's Hope? Are they going to turn those into? Are they going to be changed basically? And then somebody made a point saying, but think about all the people you can run over while you're collecting materials at Daph's Hope.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see, I think.
Roadkill.
Yeah. Oh god, it's going to be awful. Oh god, yeah. I mean, thinking about it.
It's got to be a thing. If people can drive SRVs, there's got to be people just racing around settlements. But I would assume it would be the same crime and punishment system as we have at station. If you run someone over, you just got to incur a fine.
You'd hope, wouldn't you? I think that's something that we haven't really seen much of yet. That we haven't seen that transition-y stuff, and we haven't actually seen any
PvP aspect.
We've seen no gameplay. Really. It's all pre-alpha footage.
But staying true to the rest of Elite. I mean, if you're gonna run a man over and smear him across like 200 meters of planet surface, you're gonna get a fine. But if you park at his parking spot, you're gonna be shot at dawn.
Makes sense. Seems proportionate to the crime. There's definitely some interesting things. I mean, what one of the guys in my chat, ProRock, just said. And what happens when you die? So, I don't know yet.
No, we don't know yet.
I also want to know if I'm going to be able to stand on someone's ship and get lifted up into space.
Yes, I want that. I want to stand on the front of an Anaconda, jump it up in an SRV, get out of the SRV, and stand up there as he launch it into space.
I think that'd be good.
What's your take on the genomics? How do you pronounce that?
Like
cybernetics?
Genomic. See, Genomics means to me, I'm thinking genome,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking the kind of xenobiology side of things. Yeah, that's the place where you go and pick up your xenobiology tool.
Oh,
or
okay.
you can, that's where you hand your data in, or you pick up a mission to, oh, I need 6 samples of this particular type of peptide.
Okay. So that's
that
So the plant samples, of course. Okay, because I thought like we got to be talking cybernetics here, like character upgrades, but no, that makes more sense.
That's the only thing I looked at. Went, it's got to be that. It has to be that kind of thing.
I can't
Just
find.
because
Oh,
of
there it is.
the word.
Now that makes sense. So,
what did you think about the frontline solutions? What did you think that would be?
so I was really confused at first what it was. Somebody pointed out in the in chat while we were watching the video that they do have the big, which I for some reason missed, but they have this like in big letters "Join the fight" on the banner behind them. So my guess is some kind of mercenary work.
That was my thoughts.
Because they also said that you're gonna be able to pick up missions from the mission board, and they show this like check-in terminal that we will have at an airport, and from mission givers. So it could be like some kind of missionary work. I think maybe, perhaps.
I'm thinking it could be that. And what I was thinking is another thing that was really obvious and a really big thing that I forgot to mention in my video completely was that there was a system map there. And I was thinking, wait, frontline, going to the front line is typically where you go and you fight on foot. Wouldn't it make sense if that's somewhere where you went to sign up and they took you there? Because we know we're getting the Apex transport. It would be like, why didn't I say that in my video? Like, that's a really sensible thing to think about. But no, I didn't.
I think there's not going to be a lot. I think I'm going to have a lot of those moments where I think, oh, that makes so much sense now if you think about it, because this was a little rushed. I mean, I know you had part of your video pre-recorded, but the 5-minute warning basically of, hey, by the way, embargo is going to lift now.
Yep. Because I think it's worth us talking about the reveal and how it worked.
Yeah, I briefly mentioned that at the start of my stream, but I think it's worth mentioning that it seems was like has happened before. One of some media site posted early by either by accident or by air quote accident. I don't know.
It was the original fleet carrier tease from the Gamescom that was on it was a German games news site, and they released their article early, and in it they had an unlisted YouTube video embedded, and from there people just clicked on it, went to YouTube and went yoink. That was it.
Yeah,
it was too late. And I think as Arthur said on the stream today, I think a very similar thing happened.
Yeah,
it's a bit like, oh no. Sad.
Yeah, sad times. They should just keep their videos private instead of unlisted, so that if news articles by accident publish an article early, yes, the information will be out and it'll be out in text form, but the actual dev diary won't be there, and the article or the guy who's posted is gonna look like idiots because they post a video that's unlisted or private. Just for the people, if there's people who are not familiar with the way YouTube and videos work, videos can basically be in 3 different states. They can be private, and that means that only you can see them no matter what. Then they can be unlisted. That means that everybody with a link to the video can watch it. That is where you normally keep your videos in most cases. Like, it's good when you do reviews. You can send the video to people beforehand. And then, of course, there's public where everybody can see it.
Yeah.
And most people, at least I do, keep my videos unlisted rather than private. But to be honest, you really should be keeping them private.
For me, if I'm not sharing a link with anyone whatsoever, then I'm happy to have it as unlisted, because it's only the link that things start to pick up. Or if you add it to a playlist as well, that's something to be considered.
Yeah,
an unlisted video added to a playlist then becomes visible in that playlist for people, regardless if you share the link with them. I always forget that, but yeah, like typically I just put mine public straight away because I don't do release schedules. I'm a nightmare.
Okay. I
am the least professional YouTuber. I will, as soon as I make a video, I'm like, yeah, I put it live now. I'm gonna put it live right now. Or sometimes I'll wait until maybe I might schedule it for like 5 p.m. BST, just so that way I know people from the UK might be off work. The Americans will be up.
Yeah, and it's not like 3 a.m.
No. That'd be daft.
I try to do my videos like 1 week in advance. So like this week I'm working on videos that's gonna go live next week. Well, apart from this one, obviously, when sometimes like you have time-sensitive videos that goes out early. Yeah. But most of the time I always work on the videos for the next week. So I have like 1 week running a running schedule where I just so I keep my videos unlisted for quite a while before they actually go live.
It also helps with I mentioned this about monetization earlier on my stream. Actually, all of my videos are starting to be reviewed by YouTube to see whether or not they're suitable to have adverts on at all. And I'm a bit confused what's happened. I'm going to assume.
Have you had any that's been not flagged as okay?
No, not at all. And I do the self-approval thing where I'm like, no, this is all good. But
that's really weird.
It happened after my wife and I had like our wedding anniversary with this stream and we played Struggling. And I might have sworn a little bit while I was playing it, and I don't know if I.
And that's weird with swearing in YouTube videos. Is weird because it's only if it's in the start of the video. Like if you swear in the first half of a video, YouTube is gonna be after you. The last half, you can just go nuts. They don't care.
Yeah, they really do check just a small part of it, and I was like, no, I just I'm pretty sure we were well over half an hour in, and we only streamed for about an hour and a bit. So, because there's only so much struggling you can take before you actually want to scream and shout.
Is it one of the? I haven't played it. It's like a rage game, right?
Yeah. So when you're playing it 2-player, you've got one person who's in control of one arm, one who's in control of the other. And you're gripping stuff and you're swinging from like a monkey around, and it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And they've got bits that are timed or bits where you're being chased, and of course you're trying your best, but it's just not great.
Okay.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made, yeah.
But yeah, fun times. But yeah, so that's YouTube talk, I guess. On a tangent.
That was getting sidetracked as always. I'm actually looking forward to the suits. I hope we can do suit builds, like full-on engineer like things on them.
Yeah, it would be good to be able to do something, whether it be like, I don't know, increase your oxygen tank, or which I'm assuming is going to be something we have.
Bigger pockets.
Bigger pocket. Increased pocket dimension.
Mark 2 pockets, please.
Yeah, I've got grade 5 efficient pocket. Thank you very much. Oh, what's your special effect? They're monstered.
Yeah.
What? Like, what are we talking about?
They have thermal resistant for cold weather.
Actually, that could be an interesting thing. Like, you do have a thermal, but that's like with the survival aspect of it. Because I mean, they've only mentioned that we're going to be having different suits for different things, and it has been mentioned we'll have to keep an eye on our oxygen and power. Now, I'm thinking, are we going to have to worry about thermal temperatures, or are we just going to have like a suit and you'll be fine? Or you have to have one that's built for your hotter planets, one that's built for your colder planets?
It would make sense. I mean, they do it in Star Citizens, and that kind of work. I mean, if you take a suit that's not really rated for the temperatures you're at, you're gonna begin to cool down. Your body temperature begins to drop, and you're eventually gonna die from the cold. But they also have the whole like you need to go and eat and drink, which, to be honest, is a little annoying. It's more of an annoyance than it actually adds anything to gameplay-wise.
I'm not into that. I'm not into this one.
I like the fact that you need to bring the equipment for the environment you're going into. The eating, drinking part, not so much. It could just be like, hey, if you bring this suit and this is only rated to, I don't know, up to 50 C, the planet is 60 C, well, you can stay out there for, let's say, 10 minutes, but then you're gonna overheat and die. But yeah, I don't think, and I don't hope they're gonna do any survival, like go eat, go to the toilet, you have to sleep for 8 hours a day thing.
Could you imagine? It's like, oh great. It's like going to jail, except you have to, which also Star Citizen has.
Yes.
There are some things I'm not interested in Elite, and survival mechanics is one of them. I have no interest in it whatsoever. Do not want is what I've got to say on that one. I'm not interested.
But again, for the same reason, you would have to then also add that to the main game, because if you're out, I mean, it wouldn't make sense that survival mechanics is only when you're on foot. But if you're in your spaceship, you could just stay there forever.
Yeah, especially, you're not burning as many calories when you're sat down.
No, but if you spend 3 months in space, you're still gonna be.
Yeah, you still got to go once in a while, haven't you? Now, what else do they have in the dev diary, which was important? Filming a script for the video, please. What do we have? Oh right, okay. So Pioneer supplies weapons.
Fighter is ready to go, Commander.
I'm not gonna turn my fighter pilot down.
Did you spot any interesting weapons in there, in the background?
No, I didn't look that much into the equipment. I just know there are equipment, and it looks good. That's about.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I spotted some hand grenades or some hand grenade looking items on a shelf, but that was about it. Then of course all the guns we saw.
I was talking that what I really want is I want this over the shoulder rail gun that you
right, like mounted on your shoulder thing.
That, because like you get it out, you have it on your shoulder, and you go, ooh, like that, and then you can take out an SRV that's driving around, for example, in your sphere.
So you can do like an anti-tank build basically for your suit. Yeah.
Did you notice the armor was very Darth Vader-like?
Yes, a lot of people have been commenting on that.
Yeah. It was also very, very similar to one of the suits of armor that's in Star Citizen as well.
By a wish we sequencer.
Oh. You get like a still suit from Dune. You know, where it's like, hey, this is where your water goes, reclamation, solid waste goes here, and it's filtered through pumping in the thighs. Grim. Not cool. I need to say a quick hello to someone in my chat.
Yeah.
Hey Mario Taz, how you doing, mate? Hope you're staying safe over in Australia. He's one of my friends that I used to work with.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in Australia. And every now and then he pops into chat to say hello. So I'm like, hello. And be nice to him, because I feel like I know him and he knows people I know, and he might badmouth me. People on the internet's fine. In real life, I just can't handle it.
Oh, what's happening?
There you go. I've said hello to him now, so it's fine. But yeah, I want kind of like the big weapons as well. I also saw something that looked a bit like a shotgun. So it kind of had like a rifle carbine type thing, and then a pistol, and then something that looked like a shotgun.
To be honest, I don't think Frontier has been reinventing the wheel here with the weapons.
No.
I mean, we're gonna see our close-range shotgun type weapons. We're gonna see the medium-range assault rifles. We're gonna see the long-range sniper things. And then they're probably going to be building on the same technology we already see. Maybe some railgun types. There's going to be some lasers. There's going to be some slug ammo. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't think we're going to see anything that's completely bizarre and out there unique-wise. No huge surprises.
I mean, a plasma accelerator would still be fun.
Oh, okay, yeah. Keep going. What else you got?
Obviously, then the natural then be also like human alien hybrid weapons, probably at some point, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Personal railgun, yeah.
Like a Gauss rifle. That'd be quite good. Wait, Gauss. I'm supposed to say Gauss, aren't I? Gauss rifle. That would be, because that would make sense if, because I'm still assuming we're going to have on-foot Thargoid combat.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we're going to do, yeah.
it doesn't make sense that we would take a step backwards with the enemies that we can fight and go from being in space where you can fight humans and Thargoids to then being on the ground where you only have humans to fight.
But I don't think we're going to see them at launch.
No. Or if we, or they'll be hidden somewhere, or they'll wait to unlock.
I think it's going to be part of a... okay, so I think something along the lines that Thargoids are going to return at some point. They're going to begin burning stations, and people going to go in there and maybe go on foot, but there are still Thargoids running around in there trying to kill people, and you have to save people and get them out, get them back to a ship, get as many back to a ship as possible, something like that. That would be fun. I mean, one of the first things I'm going to do when we get a chance to actually play Horizon is going to fly to a Guardian, or not Guardian, a Thargoid base, and then see what's in there, walk around.
Yeah, same.
I mean,
100%.
That's going to be very, very high on my to-do list. Right after okay, let's look at a station, let's try to see if we can go inside the fleet carriers, that kind of stuff.
Because that is the thing, actually. Fleet carriers haven't been mentioned.
No, not at all.
At all. So, I feel like it's a bit of an interesting one of the... Well, technically they are a bit like stations. They're a bit like outposts, really. Is that going to be the same kind of thing, that we'll be able to go and land on them and then get out and have a wander around? And is that going to be possible? We have no way of knowing yet.
I hope. That would be awesome. But again, are they going to look completely different than the stations? I would imagine so.
Yeah.
But just imagine if you could stand in there on, like, look out the window as your ship jumps through the hyperspace or whatever, like the jump thing that does.
Oh, could you? Oh, that would be a thing.
It'd
be close enough to the bridge that everyone wants to go and stand on.
Yeah.
Which I'm still like, oh, I don't need that. But then you just said that, and now I'm like, maybe I do need it, and I didn't realise. It would make a reason for me to, because a lot of the time what I do is when I jump my carrier, I'll be like, oh right, I'll jump my carrier, and then I log off and go and do something else for 15 minutes and then come back. Because
there needs to be other things to do than other than just look at the pretty animation. Oh, thank you, Warrenstein, for the donation. That's awesome. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Obviously, but yeah.
Oh, and Warrenstein, thank you very much as well.
Oh, cheers, both sides. Awesome.
What a lad. What a guy. Oh no, I've added okay, right, so I've changed some of my stream alerts around, right? And I've added a really creepy oh yeah sound to my Milky Ocelot gif that I've got, which it's so much explaining, I can't do all of it. But it's from a film called The Holy Mountain, and they've got this dude who's got a pair of ocelots attached to his chest like breasts that spray milk out on someone else's type of big cat, and it sprays milk out of it on someone's head. And I've had that as the as my donation gift for quite a while, and I finally added a sound to it that wasn't just the normal Obi-Wan Kenobi hello there that I have.
Yeah.
So that's the first time it's been played, and pretty memorable, I hope. And Tom's saying that's why YouTube's banning me.
No, not banning you. They're just reviewing everything you do, apparently.
Yep, they're watching me.
Watching you.
Can't blame them.
They just like your videos.
Yeah, I mean, that must be what they like. It must be that. But like, actually, we just want to watch them exclusively on our own before we say you can get paid for it. Like, thank you.
And my fighter's bugged, I think. What's going on here? Hold on. There we go.
Understood. Focusing my fire on your target.
No, I'm quite. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be awesome. So, when was the last Dev Diary? About a month ago, I think.
When was it? I'm trying to give an actual exact answer.
I think it was. I'm just guessing when we're gonna see the next one, because I think that's gonna be potentially around the same time as we have the whole like Horizon merging in with normal Elite.
Middle of August is what someone in my chat says.
Okay, so about a month and a.
So it's around about a month, I guess.
And a bit.
6 weeks. How do you feel about the merging?
I think was bound to happen, and I think like that's the most natural thing to do at this point. Because look at this from a new player's perspective, right? They obviously Frontier's expecting a lot of new players to join when when Odyssey comes out. So you come here as a new player, you buy the base game. Now, it doesn't make any sense to have Odyssey without Horizons because, well, no planetary landing.
Yeah.
So that means if you see this awesome video of someone walking around the planet and shooting up people and say, I want to do that, you go buy the game, and then you realize, oh, I can't do that before I bought these 2 extra expansions. And unless they drop the price significantly, it's gonna be quite pricey. So I think it's natural just to say, yes, you buy the base game, you get the planetary landing, you can go and you can sit in your ship and you can look at all the people running around outside, but you can't actually join them unless you also buy the expansion.
Yeah. It's very much like, I always say that if because you have people come in your chat and you go, oh, is Horizons worth getting? It's like, yeah, go buy it now. Like, get off my stream, go buy it now.
And then come back.
Yeah, then come back and I'll tell you how to do it. You've got to. It really is like you can't play without it. Really, you're at this point where
I think you're missing out on a lot
of content.
You're missing out.
A lot of content's hidden there. I mean, space is great and all, but driving around an alien planet is also pretty cool. As well as engineering your ship and being able to take some customization is essential. That you can't really play the game. You can't be competitive without it. Even NPCs will tear you to shreds without it. So, because they're engineered regardless of you being engineered or not, or you having Horizons. Mm-hmm. So you're on a real kind of.
You've already handicapped yourself quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a sensible move. I understand as well why some people might be a little bit annoyed about finding out that it's going to be free.
Yeah, but so of course people who bought it recently is going to be okay. So
it's a bit of a sting. Yeah.
Yeah. But that would have happened regardless of when they did. I mean, we just talk about they had to do this for it to make sense when Odyssey launched, and regardless of when they're gonna announce that, there's gonna be someone who bought Horizons half an hour ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. That was always going to happen, and it's either they do it now so that, because otherwise, if they realise they need to do it after, then it would be the case of, oh, well, we've done it after now, and everyone's already bought it. It's no good. And then at the same time, I think that doing it beforehand, before everyone realises that you have to be able to access Horizons in order to do Odyssey, because that's going to be where it goes. But yeah, you are right. Even if it would be half an hour beforehand, people would be stung. And also, here's the thing that I always think is that if you bought it, you were happy paying that price at that time.
Yeah, and you're still getting it.
It doesn't. Yeah, and you're still getting that product. It doesn't matter. And also, I mean, I bought it before it released.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I knew I had to have it. I had to have it, and I paid full price for it.
I'm gonna buy it 3 times before release. 3 accounts.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So I bought it, and I think I've had great value out of it. Even then, it's fractions of pennies for each hour of gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
But yeah, I know some people will moan.
Of course, you can't always moan.
Everyone's entitled to do that if they like.
And I actually like also the fact. I mean, they could just have gone and say, "Hey, we are going to make it free after this date." But I actually like what they've said. They kind of still put a little bit of incentive into people might still actually want to consider buying it because of the paint jobs if they want like this new Asia paint job for all their ships. I don't know how much it is right now.
£20 for the or $19.99. Probably pretty similar euro-wise, I imagine.
Okay, that's maybe a little much unless you have a lot of ships and you really like that paint job. But
Yeah, gotta really like that paint job. But also, it's for every single ship as well,
Yeah.
which, I mean, not everyone's going to fly every single ship, and a lot of people typically have ships they go to for different things. But even then, you have some more options. And to me, I'm like, it's not a consolation prize. It's just something for free.
yeah, and if you are the type of guy who wants to color match your whole fleet, there's this pretty much the cheapest way you can do it would be to go for that Asia paint job.
Mm.
I know some people like that color matching, like it's like their thing to fly a specific color.
Yeah, I normally fly gold.
I go green
That's my preference, is gold if I can.
just to show the bling.
Come on, Christmas paint jobs.
Oh yeah. I actually think I have two different gold. There's both the gold and the golden paint job.
Oh yeah, on the Asp.
Yeah, and I think on the Anaconda as well.
Yeah, because I've got gold for the Mamba, and I've got gold for the Corvette as well. And the golden Corvette is it's obnoxious, which is why I like it.
Yeah. The problem with those metallic paint jobs on something like the Cutter is it kind of looks like something else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not at all.
What are you talking about?
We're gonna keep the stream family friendly, but
Yeah,
everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's like you all know what we're saying, but we're not saying it. So you're the ones with the minds in the gutter, not us.
Yes, exactly.
But yes, it does look rather masculine.
Yes.
I guess you might say, in its intentions.
Yeah.
It's a way to do that.
Pink beluga for the win. Oh god.
What is something that we go back to Odyssey for it.
Yeah.
Like, what we know, what we've seen for a minute. I'm interested in these settlements.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if I'm going to be able to run into one and just straight up murder everyone.
I would guess so.
Or
Run everybody over.
or at least have a go. Like BGS wise, is that going to be as effective as killing ships in space? That I run into a settlement that's owned by an enemy faction, we want to take it over, we're in a war with them. Can we just go and absolutely murder everyone? And does that count as murdering their people?
I would assume that all the surface activities is gonna have an effect on BGS because they did say that the NPCs are gonna be generated based on BGS.
Yeah.
Which I can think is quite awesome. I think it could be really cool to go into a station and like have this like rocket-looking guy swearing at you because you're in an anarchy system, or you could have some guy at the counter always trying to upsell you to get another trip with the Apex because you're in a corporate system. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm thinking that we've got a lot of stations. In particular, we've got Places Tyranny. What are people going to look like in there? Because they're not going to be dressed in uniform as an independent dictatorship. Like, what are they going to look like?
You know what could be cool? If you could set like some base colors for your faction, the player faction, and then the players, the NPCs would then be generated with clothes, like officials on the station would then have uniforms that would match those base colors. So you set like a primary and secondary color.
That would be cool. Vortex is suggesting that we go and visit our like faction mission giver, which is General Royal Castaneda, who I always say, because he gives out the worst missions possible ever, that he was grandfathered in when I took over, and I've got no choice. I'm stuck with him. It's part of the union. I can't sack him and get someone else in. I'm stuck with him. But even if we just go and visit him and be like, look, dude, do you have any good missions or not? If you can actually go and visit people, obviously it'd be difficult for them to be on every single station at the same time, because you get the same NPC keeping the missions on different stations. But also the suggestion of what about carpet bombing with mines.
Yes.
There's like so much potential for gameplay, and there's no way that they can say, "Oh, ship weapons don't work on people," because that'd be rubbish.
Yeah, but okay,
I mean,
so how are you gonna then prevent someone just go fly up to a settlement with a whole lot of missiles and just begin to carpet bomb the whole thing? I mean, you could have every time people to spawn. Yes, Rusty, I am watching chat. What's up? I'm trying to at least watch two chats. I mean, how are you going to prevent that? You could grief people for real by doing that.
Yeah. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But I'm thinking, like, that would be something where, you know, settlement weapons would then kick in and take them out.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
that should
assume
be-
it'd have similar to...
Yeah,
Because
similar
no
to
one
the
wants to hang
stations.
around being shot by that. You know, it's... But even, like, you could zoom in, do a low-level drop, get out again. If you
Still
have
be fun.
a mission to take out so many people of that faction, which I imagine you would do. Or you can't destroy people in buildings.
Now, I'm hoping that we're also gonna get some options that not just gonna be if you're in a ship, people on the ground can't just hurt you at all. That we're gonna be able to actually fight back against people in ships. Because I don't know if you ever tried it. Have you ever tried shooting a ship with an SRV?
It takes a long time to.
Yes,
do any
you gotta have a
damage.
lot of patience if you wanna
Yeah.
do that, and a lot of rearms along the way, because that's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
So something a little bit more, I don't know, like ground-to-air missiles, something like that, that could actually damage the ships. Would actually.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, I want these big weapons, these big shoulder-mounted weapons, because, you know, we have weapons now that you can, you know, surface-to-air missiles. You get, I think you get handheld ones, do you? Or is that just movies? Anyway, it's over 1,000 years in the future. We have to have something like that. Got to.
I would assume, like pocket nukes, basically.
Yeah. I was talking about the lack of nuclear weapons in Elite in general. It's been like, I understand that they're outlawed and you can't have them, but wouldn't it be good? Because, you know, let's see a
Just-
Fargoid take on a nuke.
You could have them as like, just if you have illegal cargo, you could have illegal modules. Like, you're not allowed to fit nuke launchers on your ships, and if you get scanned, people are gonna come after you. And they're gonna shoot you from a long distance, but they're gonna try to
Yeah.
shoot you. Close
Stay
range
out of
EMP.
range.
Oh yeah, that could be fun as well.
I'm actually going to probably engage in PvP when it comes to the first-person stuff. I'm definitely well up for that. I'm hoping there's going to be a really easy way of getting involved in that, because I don't mind a first-person shooter. Like, I enjoy them much more than I enjoy PvP combat in Elite. It's a very, very different experience. So I'm hoping.
I suck at
That's not
first-person shooters. I'm not very good at them, but I'll try anyway.
Well, just let me know where you are when the game goes live, and I'll come and find you.
And what
shoot you
pocket
in
your
the back.
wallet is in while we're at it.
And a carpet bomb this thing, yeah.
Yeah. Black hole cannons.
Why not? All stuff.
Oh, come on. There's 2 weapons. There we go. What else was there? Yeah, okay, so what do you think the purpose of the bar is? Other than, like, a social area?
I think it might just be that.
So just a place to go and hang out? Because station's
Yeah.
gotta have a bar.
But they did say that originally that the social areas would be a place to recruit crew, didn't they?
Yeah, I was actually thinking that it was gonna be some kind of like a... Rusty, I do read chat. What are you on about? What do you want? There's people saying I'm not reading chat. I've already replied once. Now, wondering what like, if it's gonna be like a social hub where you go and you meet up with other people. I was considering at some point whether they were gonna make like the main part of the station, like the shops, that basically make that like a solo experience, and then only have the social areas being multiplayer. A little bit like I don't know if you've been playing Monster Hunter, but they do something similar there, where the main area of the city you're always flying solo or just running solo, but then there's a social area where you can see other players. But I don't think, if you look at the layout, the way it's designed, it's very open. There's not like a door you go through. It's just basically like a whole wall is missing out to the main part of the station. So I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, I'm not sure they will. I think, well, at least I hope Frontier are looking at kind of bringing the player base together in places where there's no threat. So you will kind of like you come together in the lounge, and you can't punch people, you can't shoot people, you can't, you disarm there versus
exactly.
be able to kind of grief people, or it'd be a bit because I think there's a really good opportunity here to kind of pull people in and have players interact with each other more. This is very much wishful thinking, but I'm hoping they go in that direction with it.
Yeah, I think it's. I just assumed at least that the stations is gonna be a non-combat area.
Yeah.
Because, God, it would be annoying if you're standing there shopping and trying to figure out if you want weapon A or B, and then someone comes and put a gun to your head and blow your head out all over the shop floor. Yeah, but I actually think it was. I'm very positive. We actually ran a straw poll earlier. Where is it? Where's the straw poll? There it is. Where we're basically asking how people what people thought about the dev diary, and 70% say they were very excited, and 9% awesome, and we had 16% saying where's the dog to pet.
I think overall I've seen people be pretty positive about it. I've seen people saying they're hyped when they haven't been hyped about Elite Dangerous for a very long time. And I've got to agree, everything's looking really good. It looks to be everything's moving in the right direction. Like the level of detail in the stations looks good. It looks in depth. It looks fleshed out. I will mention one thing. It was pre-alpha footage, but one of the people sitting on the chair, their leg clipped through the chair they were sat on. I can't let it go. I want to, even if it's pre-alpha, I don't care. But no, you kind of see that. It's like, yeah, I mean, it needs some polish, but in fact, they're sitting down. It looked like there were two NPCs having a chat, as opposed to just walking around, not bumping into each other. And you'd hope that at least we're at the point now where you've got a decent level of interaction, because you've had games like Oblivion and Skyrim where the guards walk around and chat to people, or the NPCs just talk to each other. We should really have something that's working on that and progressing further.
Yeah, to give the environment a little bit of life and make it feel less static, that it's not just the stations just existing there waiting for you to show up, do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hold on. I get this guy. There we go.
You doing a bit of bounty hunting, are you, or conflict zones?
Yeah, so what I decided to do is I hired an NPC crew member, and I'm now training him up from harmless to elite. Although he's hopefully going to be elite one day.
You know he's going to pick your pocket every opportunity he gets, right?
Yes, I know. And the reason why I decided was now that they actually have escape pods installed for the crew members, I figured it was about time I got an NPC crew member, because I never really used my fighter hangar much. And with 11 million in the bank, I figured I can afford it.
Tom Cook in chat just said, he's like, I hope someone's going to say, I'm going to ball you up. Maybe a chef. That would be ridiculous, because, you go to the bar and you're like, oh, look, this is where you can buy some noodles. Because, well, I don't know, you can do that. It's like, yeah, you don't pay, I'm going to boil you up. It's like, okay. Might be a thing.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, Rust is saying he has some issues with some people getting the stream keys. I normally swap stream keys after, that's part of the new YouTube thing, to swap stream keys after each stream. And as soon as the stream is over, then then the stream key is no longer valid, so it should be safe.
Well, as in people have been having his stream key?
Yes, and if you get the stream key, then obviously you can then stream directly to, and basically, I don't know what YouTube does if you suddenly have two people streaming to the same stream key at the same time.
Yeah. I didn't even think that was a possible thing to do. Like, how would someone be able to get your stream key as well?
If you gave me your stream key, I would be able to plug it into OBS, and then I would now be Plater.
Oh, actually, technically you wouldn't, because I use Restream.
Yes, yeah, okay. But
there's no, I mean, that's the only...
But I would still be able to, all you then do is just have the live stream go to you to Restream, that then sends it to whatever stream key you're using on YouTube. But if you went and pulled that out, it would make a new. I could then go and take that over basically.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm being botted on Twitch. Hang on. Oh. Yeah, what's got it?
But no, never had any issues with that. And seems like I'm the only one. At least I hope Dongle will post or ping me if somebody if something weird happens like that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of weird moments where I'm using Restream, I haven't selected the right stream, and then I'm streaming in 2 places at the same time when I go and change it, and it's like, okay, no one ask any questions about it. It's not intentional.
Did you manage to get up? I assume you did since you're live.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get up and running with the new live streaming dashboard on YouTube?
Yeah, I did. I don't like it though.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. There's some neat features in it compared to the old one, but it does take some getting used to.
The thing is that I dislike change.
Yeah. You're more the old one.
I don't like change. Oh. But things do change.
Yeah.
Although I did have a stream that got flat out just deleted randomly by YouTube.
Oh, great.
Even though I had the
You
DVR and stuff enabled, so.
You keep local copies?
No, definitely not.
No, me neither. Well.
I've almost filled up 10 terabytes worth of hard drives. So I can't keep hold of everything. I'm at the point where I'm gonna have to start ditching old footage.
You keep you just use external drives, or do you have a?
No, it's all internal.
Oh, so you just have a case just full of hard drives?
I think I've got a little bit more space in it because I've got a Master Case 5, Master Case Pro 5. So there's a lot of space for hard drives in there. So then I've got enough space for another, probably actually another 4 mechanical, and a couple of solid state if I wanted to.
Yeah, I set up a NAS. It's easier to manage, I think.
I've run out of space in my flat, to be honest. At that point, we're full of desks and computers because my wife streams now.
Right. Yeah, she does the arts and crafts streams, right?
Yeah, she does arts and crafts, and also she does Sims 4.
Right.
She's doing a lot of that at the moment, and it's been her upgrading what she does and improving her stream alerts prompted me to go and do mine. I was like, well, I've got to do mine now, that's it, I've got to go and do mine. And that's where we came up with the Milky Ocelot saying, oh yeah, which seems like a mistake.
I have an NPC here that has the middle name Shifty. I wonder if he's wanted.
Yeah, it's like, boy, what ship's he flying?
What is your guess for the next dev diary? Now we have exploration, and we had they call this one choices. I don't even know what label I would put on this. It's like
station interiors.
Station interiors, yeah.
That's the only thing that I could really call it, I think. But what do you think? What I think the next one's going to be?
I'm hoping for mining, but I'm always hoping for mining.
Money. I'm thinking that there's probably going to be more of a look at maybe the combat of weapons.
True, yeah.
Because that's something we've just seen nothing of. I imagine the transitions are going to be kept pretty kind of like last minute when we get shown them.
The transition from ship to foot, on foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, combat and mining are the 2 major ones I think that we are still missing, and some actual like gameplay. Like I want to see what it looks like inside the helmet.
Yeah, what the HUD look like.
Yeah. And maybe not
maybe
not gameplay, but just like a screenshot or just a concept art from what it would look like inside the helmet would be nice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Definitely, it's something that is missing, and it's obviously missing.
Yeah.
Are we going to have a compass on there? So is it going to have the same kind of like your coordinates at the top, so you know where you are on the planet, stuff like that. Because you'd think it would, because you might be on a planet exploring and go, I found something really cool. Hey, come look at this. So you get one of your squadron mates to come down to the planet with you and you need to try and find where you are. Or you have a wing signal that you can activate from your wrist, stuff like that. That's right. It's those little details that enable gameplay.
And I would assume that there's going to be some kind of marker leading you back to the ship, just like you have on in the SRV. So you're not just going to go out on foot exploring. There's like, where did I park that thing? It's 10,000 light years back. I don't want to walk.
Yeah, that's going to be... or maybe you'd be able to call it to you. I think you'd be able to do that, the same way that you can recall your ship.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, so it's basically going to be an SRV, but without wheels.
Yeah, I do think that would be the very simplistic term to look at it and say, yeah, I think we are going to be like people, but we're going to be people like SRVs without wheels. It's going to be exactly that.
But actually, the whole managing power as well. So do you think the suits is basically going to have like a power output, just like a small built-in power plant, just like you have on a ship, and then you're going to be able to fit stuff based on how much power the suit has?
Or pip management?
Suit pip management, yeah.
Oh.
More power to solid waste recycling.
Yeah, it's a Thor guide.
Yes.
4 pips to solid waste recycling.
Yes, exactly. Add legs. All pips to legs, please.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping there won't be anything like that. Just because I'm thinking how it would work in a normal first-person shooter way. I'm thinking that mouse and keyboard or controller is going to be the only way that you can get it. Because could you imagine trying to control with a HOTAS?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I've actually been... Because first I thought, how are they going to solve that for HOTAS players? Because it's not going to be a very pleasant experience, I think, running around first-person with a HOTAS. And then I realized, well, this problem has already been solved years ago by the Star Citizens community. So we're just asking people who play Star Citizens and said, hey, if you play with a HOTAS, what do you do when you go on foot? And most people say, I have a controller, or I just go to mouse and keyboard. But the majority of people playing on HOTAS just have a controller as well, plugged in, and then just switch over and use the controller.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the HOTAS is going to be a good experience for walking.
No, I couldn't see it at all. I mean, I suppose on the X-52 and other, I'm going to say high-level HOTASes, you've got the hat on the throttle that you could potentially use.
Yeah,
as
if you have analog hats, you could kind of use them as a controller, but it would still be weird, I think.
It would be awful. I'm just going to be...
I mean, like, the throttle would never use the throttle. Can you imagine that?
Faster forward and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it would be so awkward.
Yes, it would be. Bad is what it would be.
Yes.
That's bad.
Something to shoot at for overheating. So I think if you're running HOTAS, you should probably either expect that you're going to be using mouse and keyboard, which can of course be a problem because the HOTAS take up quite a bit of space on the desk already, unless you have some fancy setup. But to be honest, not everybody has that, where they have it like clamped to the desk instead.
Yeah.
Or their chair. So I think for me at least, the solution is going to be just basically have a controller lying around, probably like just permanently plugged in, so I can just always pick that up. And then I might as well actually set that up for the SRV, because yeah, the joystick kind of works for the SRV, but I think a controller would actually work with it better.
Yeah, I mean, because I drive my SRV with the HOTAS.
Hold on, so in Star Citizen, someone use a home Mac, hands-on mouse and keyboard. Got it. Okay, that took a while.
Okay. So, isn't that just a mouse and keyboard?
Yes. Okay, got it now.
Yeah, I drive my SRV with my HOTAS, and then if I begin, I just push my my stick forward out the way, so I've got space for my mouse.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
So large mouse pad is the way to go, it seems.
A mouse pad?
No, you don't use mouse pads.
You're living a life of luxury right now, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, I don't use a mouse pad because I have my mouse sensitivity up really high, and then I only have a tiny space.
Right.
So yeah, it's I only have a tiny space for my mouse because my desk is full of a lot of crap.
I have one of those, with like lighting around the edge and stuff. Like, looks awful, but I love it.
I think people like that. I think if you like your RGB, you like your RGB. I'm not going to fault someone for it. Apart from Hunter, I don't know if he's watching my chat, but dude, I'm shaming you for your RGB. You spent too much money on it when you built your computer. You're not getting away with it.
Last time I built, I specifically went for a case without a side panel, which is surprisingly hard to come by. Get a decent case with those side, like side window. It was a side panel, but so it's just like a box, because it's behind my monitor anyway. I can't see it. So
yeah. No sign of space EVA.
A rose has a petal. My friend's
there is no
getting
sign of
shots here in the hospital.
That's right.
07.
Thank you for the donation, Kirstner. Hope you're doing well. I have Kirstner. He likes to do poems or like small rhymes whenever he do donations. It's always very entertaining.
See, I've been doing a spot of engineering whilst we've been chatting, because I am working on a PvP third lance.
Oh, everybody's doing PvP at the moment, it seems.
It didn't do very well. I didn't do very well, should I say? The ship was fine. I wasn't very good. And I thought I had engineered something, and I haven't. And now I'm like, you total mug, what have you done?
You need more spreadsheets, Plater.
I don't need spreadsheets. No,
yes, you do need spreadsheets.
I have a spreadsheet for Satisfactory, and that's fine, because I've been playing Satisfactory again, and I've been quietly building a factory with 12 train lines of every single resource all coming into one spot. And I'm going to build a giant tower factory that makes everything there. And that's the only spreadsheet I need. For Elite, I have ED Engineer and Coriolis, which, if you don't look at, isn't very useful.
True. No, I like my spreadsheets. Every game needs spreadsheets.
Oh, I was supposed to engineer something with Target Lock Breaker, and I just didn't. Efficient Grind 5 Target Lock Breaker, and I just didn't do it. So now I'm going to have to go all the way back to the engineer.
Dongarora said that we should do a Satisfactory stream and see who has the biggest factory. I think I showed you the factory that we built, that I built.
Yeah.
With one of my
have you continued to work on that one?
No, we actually went over to Factorio after that released, went out of early access, and been playing that lately. So we haven't really continued on that a lot.
Well, you need to up your game, because every good factory needs a good foreman. I say the factory I'm working on, it's like I had to put in 312 smelters just for iron. And then I have to put 312 in just for copper as well. And then I worked out all of the numbers that I would need for everything, all the constructors afterwards, and again it's in the hundreds. And some things don't exactly go into straight round numbers either, and it's not.
I can see why you need a spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's because rather than me sit there and work stuff out by individually, I'll go, right, this one just equals that plus 30, and then drag it down until I hit like the numbers where it hits 780, and I'm like, that's the max belt can handle. That's cool. That's how many we need. So, too much though.
Okay. Anything else we should touch on just while chit-chatting anyway on Odyssey? Again, I'm expecting the next Dev Diary to be around when Horizons come out, not Horizons, but when Horizon merges into the main game.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to happen as well. It would make sense. I think it would be logical for it to be that kind of time. Because again, you've got everyone who now suddenly gets kind of like, they're going to have the game now, and they're probably going to be more interested in what's coming, I feel like. There's a bit more of an investment in Horizons versus just now, what did you think about the when they spoke about the credit earnings being primarily from missions?
I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I think definitely they're intending, and I think that it's gonna be mainly from missions. But I also think that at some point someone's gonna figure out if you do this and you repeat this game loop like over and over and over again, you're gonna make 100-200 million per hour or something on foot.
It's gonna be you, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna be looking, but I definitely think they're intending. But I also think that, I mean, Elite is a complicated game. There's so many things that goes into the way all these missions are generated and the way like there's so much stuff. We've seen it a million times that it's like trying to change something is almost chaos theory. You change one little thing over there, and something like completely what seems unrelated explodes somewhere else.
Yeah,
we've seen that happen so many times in Elite, and I would assume they're gonna be piggybacking on the same system. Like the mission generation system is probably not gonna be completely different from what we have with the current game. So it really depends on how they're gonna do mining, how they're gonna do the scanning. Like how often can you go back and rescan the same plant? What's the respawn time for that? All that kind of. Can you do like an optimized like road to riches, but with plants maybe? I don't know. Where you just make a route you have to walk, where you go by all the rare plants and you just point your camera at them and take all the pictures and then go and sell them. And the guy at the shop is gonna be annoyed to having like 200,000 pictures of the same plant, but it's gonna pay good money for it every single time because it's a rare plant. I don't know.
I'm wondering that. I'm wondering whether or not there'll be like a Road to Riches style thing using Apex, because the way that they've kind of pitched the moving around from place to place. What's
your thought on the game mechanics around Apex? Because so let's say I'm on foot, I'm on a station, I want to go to another system. They say within jump range, but within jump range of what?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, well, is it in jump range of my Sidewinder that does 10, my Anaconda that does 70, or my Fleet Carrier that does 500?
Yes.
What is it?
Some fixed range, like maybe Apex ships can jump, I don't know, 20, 30 light years.
Or are they kind of like, are they like mega ships? Are they gonna, and also what's the transition gonna be like?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Is it gonna be, because what I was thinking was, if it's gonna be, they said it was gonna be a small fee, so it's not gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna be, go up, pay a few thousand credits, and you're in on the new station. Basically just load screen, you're there. That's gonna mean you can travel fast doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a little game breaking, that people can just basically teleport around the bubble or as they see fit.
I mean, they also spoke about being booked as well. To me, if you book travel on something, it's at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're going to be, you have to be in a certain spot at a certain time, and then your ship jumps.
It could be like, let's say every maybe there's a ship going out from stations every 10-15 minutes, something like that, and then you go and say I want to book the next one, and then because they showed some pictures of some elevators, so I assume you have to go into the elevator, aka load scene or load screen.
Yeah.
And maybe when you're in there you don't have to say, oh, but it only leaves like once every 15 minutes, or maybe there's some kind of cooldown, just as we see with fleet carriers, so you don't like you can't just go like teleport. I don't think there's gonna be an actual wait time, like a transit wait time, and if there is, it's not gonna be that long. Then it's gonna be a little bit like what we see with fleet carriers,
which feels like a long time
you're doing it,
I think, because it's a long time to be. stuck in that. Well, in the bay, just sat there.
So we saw those elevator kind of things. What if those are basically the same game mechanic as we have on the fleet carriers? So it says, okay, you're gonna book a flight. There's gonna be a timer, let's say 15 minutes. Maybe it's shorter because I don't assume you can jump within 500 light years with Apex, but maybe we can. And then you have to be in the elevator by that, and then you are in the elevator, then there's like a small animation of you going down, going into a ship goes boop, and you then spawn at the other elevator in the other station. So basically just a reskinned version of the fleet carriers, maybe with different times and different jump lengths.
Yeah.
That could work, but...
That comes down to we haven't seen any transitions from one type of gameplay to another yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we know that we're not getting ship interiors on launch,
yes.
Which means that I'm going to assume that when you, as painful as this is going to be for everyone, that when you decide that you want to get off of your ship and disembark, you
fade to black.
You press 3. You look down at the panel where you'd select your SLV, your ship launch fighter, or your feet. You select your feet, and then there'll be a fade to black. And then probably, I think it has to be this, is it will have you walking down the steps.
I'm thinking more like a small like elevator lift that comes out the bottom of the ship, much like the ramp for the fighter. Basically that, but you just stand on a ramp that goes down, and you then.
See, the reason why I think we're getting the steps is because on things like the Cobra and the Viper already, that front landing gear has steps on.
But what about all the other ships that does not have steps?
Look, now you're asking me for too much. Look, I can only produce a small amount of evidence to support my own personal ideas. But I think we'll get something like that, and also it's all about that Neil Armstrong moment. And you can't do that if you don't walk off of your ship in some way.
Oh, so you're thinking you're just gonna basically spawn at the top of the steps at the door?
Yeah, and then you walk down.
Yeah, okay.
That kind of thing. I think that's how it would work. Just so you do have that. How are you going to do it? Well, I jumped down the last 3 steps. You know, it's that kind of thing. Like, well, I always jump down the last 3 steps in real life, so I'll do it here as well onto an alien planet. So you have that. You get to make your entrance how you like.
Yeah.
I hope that is the minimum that is done.
But you could kind of get the same feeling if you have the ramp coming down, like the elevator ramp. So you're standing on this metal plate, basically, like 4 wires going up to your ship or whatever, and then you have to take the first step off that platform and actually set your foot on the planet. You could still get that Neil Armstrong moment doing that, and that could easily be implemented into all ships because you can just basically reuse where the ship launch fighter hangar is.
Yeah, or the SRV bay.
Or the SRV bay. Or
cargo scoop.
Cargo scoop. Anything. Stuff that's already there.
Yeah. But again, it worries me that we haven't seen anything like that. And I don't know if it's... For me, it wouldn't be a big moment to reveal what that looks like this early on. Because it has to have been thought out. It has to have been kept in mind how that would work.
Yeah, but I think it's because she also knows that it's not a guaranteed win. There are so many people who really want to be able to maybe just walk around the cockpit of their ship and have to get up in the chair, go back to the door that's behind us on pretty much all the ships actually, and then click that door. Then maybe there's the fade to black. I don't know, but at least walk around the cockpit maybe. That could be a compromise-ish. But I think that's why we haven't seen it yet. I think maybe it's because they don't know if they want to do something like that yet, but I would assume being so close.
Yeah, it is. It's really close because it could be any time within the next 4 months to 6 months. It will be between that 4 and 6 month mark. Because I'm still thinking that when they say early 2021, that's going to be the first quarter.
Yeah, most likely. I would assume so, at least it's first quarter, but I don't necessarily think we're going to see it in January. I still think February is going to be... I don't think they're gonna do it at the end of the first quarter, like March, because they want to they want to have some. They want to have some maneuvering room in case something goes south during the beta test. Beta test. I don't know.
I say beta is fine.
Yes, people always in the chat whenever in the comment section whenever I have a video, I say beta or beta.
Well, it's a Greek letter, and the Greeks say beta.
Okay,
so
well, that's
that
settled
is the
then.
answer. That's it. That is the answer. I spent a long time looking at this because when you have an American wife, you both say things slightly differently sometimes, and I like to be right.
Robert in chat goes beta.
So yeah, beta.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the beta testing is something I almost forget we're going to have it. I almost forget, and then I get reminded, and I'm like, oh yeah, we will get to try that out first.
Yeah,
we're going to get to have a go and break it.
And that's going to be this year.
You think?
Oh yeah. They're not going to have just one. They're going to have at least 2 scheduled. They had 2 for fleet carriers. There's no way they're going to get away with just 1 for this.
Yeah, I mean,
I would expect 2 or 3, and they want to have that running for, let's say, at least a week, and then they want time to go back, do the fixes, and then launch the next one. So we saw it with the fleet carriers. There's like the cycle time for between 2 beta tests was about a month, right? From now it's launching, I think we got 2 weeks with the fleet carriers, and then they spent 2 weeks fixing stuff, and then we got the next one. So if we're going to look...
It's a lot more. There's a lot more stuff, isn't there?
There's a lot more here. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff that can be broken. So I think most likely 3, I think. My guess is going to be 3. And if we're going to look at a month each, then there's no way that's going to be next year. And they don't want to run anything over Christmas, because everybody's going to be gone.
Yeah. So we're in my chat. We've had someone say January. I think possibly January as well myself.
For beta tests?
Yeah. I think it'll be something that'll be done after the Christmas break.
I think November.
I think November.
Why would they otherwise put that Horizon date at the end of October? That's them preparing for the beta test, so everybody has Horizons before the beta launch. And they're doing a little bit before, so people have time to get their game clients updated, because, well, Horizons is no small update to install.
Yeah. That's an interesting point you make. I hadn't thought of that. But I also think it'll be longer, because people get computer games for Christmas. And I feel like that would be the logical time to do it would be after you've had some time off, so you know that it's crunch time, you can just get on with it, and you don't have a break halfway through working. That's why I'm thinking it might be January.
So they have... So my guess, and this is just a guess, is first beta test November. That's going to run for a couple of weeks. Then they're going to spend 2 weeks fixing stuff. We're going to see one at the beginning of December. And then they're going to basically have that running for 2 weeks. Then they're going to close down for Christmas. They're going to fix it at the beginning of January. In January, we might have a third, which they're then going to spend a couple of weeks testing or fixing. And then they're going to launch mid-February.
I'm going to say, well, a gentleman's bet. I would say...
so what's on the line here?
Middle of March for launch. That's what I'm saying, middle of March. Because that still classes early 2021.
Yeah.
It'll be well. I think Christmas would be enough to be like a, we're going to have a break around it, because there's going to be people who have problems with traveling because of the current climate and stuff like that. I think them fixing things over Christmas won't be happening.
No.
I would probably say, I'm going to say beta middle of January. Then that's the first one. How many there will be will depend on how broken stuff is. And then I'm saying launch of Odyssey mid-March.
Okay.
Someone needs to take note of that we've said this to each other.
Yeah, but what are we? Is there something on the line, or are we just making a gentleman's bet?
A gentleman's bet doesn't really have any kind of like money attached
so
to
when
it.
no when so when it's actually announced, we'll obviously after that do a Super Frienders live stream week. the winner will have the I told you so right.
Yeah, and whoever's closest as well.
Yes. Okay. So what do we do if we end up with a with first beta in November and a launch mid-March?
Oh, okay. Right. I'll tell you what the gentleman's agreement would be, is that depending on who is right, we the one who is correct gets to shoot the other one in the face before anyone else when Odyssey launches.
That's
or during the beta.
Absolutely. So you get to shoot that other person in the face for the first time doing Odyssey.
That would be a big thing. It's like the first person to kill me would be Down to Earth Astronomy, and the first person to potentially kill you would be Plato. And if we get it half and half, well,
then we have a Mexican standoff.
Yes, we do.
Oh yes, we
have a good old fashioned quick draw. That's the idea.
Okay, that's I'll write this down somewhere because now, well, it's been live streamed out to I don't know how many people are watching, but
yeah,
somebody's gonna hold us up to it at some point.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. You have to right. So you said middle of November.
Yeah, first beta middle November with the launch mid-February.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm taking note of what you've said. And you take note of what I've said.
You know what? I'm actually gonna do this in a old-fashioned way and write it down on a piece of paper, or like a post-it note.
Piece of paper.
Post-it notes.
Have paper.
I have post-it notes.
Oh my goodness.
I actually have apparently transparent post-it notes. They're being chroma keyed by my green screen.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. I'm like, wait, what?
So I'm gonna put here Plater bet, and you bet on
mid-January for
mid-January. Yeah, we can always go back and take the video on demand of this live stream later. And launch
is mid-March.
Well, that's written down, and that's gonna go on the side of my case. It's gonna stay there. There we go.
Because I hate pieces of paper, I am using Discord to make a note of it. Somewhere in a quiet little spot where other content creators can see it on my Discord. Other people can't. Just say Astro thinks for Odyssey mid-November, beta launch mid-Feb. There we go.
Well, that's a bet.
That's a bet. Oh god, what have I done? What have I done? Look, whatever happens, right? We don't let Burr get involved because we know what he's like.
I'm gonna find the biggest gun, like 2 meter long rail gun, and just go up and yeah.
I think one of the things that people are going to have to do when the Odyssey beta launches is how many different ways can you kill each other? Like, because they say it's a bit like the Wild West, and there's that 50 ways to die in the West.
About to say there's a good video in that, isn't there? Like 100 ways to die in Elite Odyssey.
Oh no! But yeah, I really want to try the standing on the hull of an anaconda and be lifted up.
We can arrange that. We should probably do that during the beta, like a fun and giggles.
Yeah.
Oh, can I kill this con? Can we ram it? Come on for the ram! No, missed it. Damn it.
What are you flying at the moment?
Combat.
Okay.
Just I needed something because I know you were going to be sitting chatting, and I didn't want something that I had to pay too much attention.
Yeah, that's fair.
So just something, Otherwise, I'm having a lot of fun in a chieftain build, like a close range chieftain build. That is hilarious. With
is that your blunderbuss build?
Yes, the blunderbuss with the scramblers and pacifier frags.
Oh yeah, I need pacifier frags.
It's hilarious.
I think because I've got a frag member.
Yeah.
And the frag member.
Didn't you do a frag lance as well at some point?
No, I haven't. I've been trying out a third lance, but I've ended up just using the PvP meta one.
Okay.
That's what we're going for. I'm not happy about it because I'm not a huge fan of the third lance, and I'm not a huge fan of going to metas, and that's why I ended up with the frag member. But the frag member has got the 2 large frags, 2 small frags, and then it's got a huge plasma accelerator with long range, efficient long range. Because you'd be amazed at the people that try and run away, and having something that can snipe them at long distance, which is point and shoot, is really handy.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
and it makes everything a lot easier with long range on PAs because of the shot speed.
Yeah, helps when you're using frags at the same time, because the frags have got a good selection of mods on them, so they're all high cap for the double clip size. So you've got 6 shots when you spam the fire button as opposed to your 3. So you've got less downtime for reloads.
Yeah.
And then we've got incendiary on the 2 larges, and then we've got I think screaming shell with the drag munitions on one of them, and the other one's corrosive. So that we've got like a full kind of 360 damage.
Yeah.
Damage output, which I like the build. I really like it, and I really like the way the Mamba looks.
I've never been a huge fan of the Mamba after the basically cooks you alive during the beta test. I was like,
Thankfully, it doesn't anymore.
When Nota says we do need a witness for that duel, I'm pretty sure there will be a live stream running.
We will live stream it.
We will be live streaming it. So.
Because the thing is, what happens if we're both completely wrong?
Well, then we find, I don't know, the highest cliff we can and jump off it, both of us.
Yeah. Or we go up on someone else's ship.
We get someone else to shoot us both.
Oh god, I think it's gonna be fun. That'll be a laugh. Oh, I'm being raided.
Oh.
Hey Jack Little, how you doing? Thank you for the raid, bud. Hope you're having a good one. And Capra Suns all over the place. Thank you. I'm currently joined by Down to Earth Astronomy, and we've been chatting through the dev diary, what we think is going to be in it, and we've made an interesting bet. So we've just gained 30 witnesses to this bet. And basically we've bet when we think the beta for Odyssey is going to be, and then we think the launch is going to be. I have said that I think the beta for Odyssey is going to be middle of January, and then it is going to launch middle of March. And Astro, what have you said?
I have said that we're gonna get beta in November with a launch in February.
So
and my reasoning is I think they gave themselves a little bit extra room to play with in case they need to extend the launch date without them having to go out and say, oh, we have to postpone. They can still say, yes, if they had an internal plan for February, they can still push it to March and say, oh, but it's still early 2021. That's one of the reasons why I think that's... But I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And the gentleman's bet that we have made, because, not exchanging money, but what we are going to exchange is bullets to the head. So whoever is correct or closest to being correct will get to shoot the other one in the head with their choice of weapon during the Odyssey beta.
Oh, would be actually after launch, because we need to know when the launch day is, unless they announce that early.
Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose we'll have to wait till it's live. That's going to be the very first thing that we do. Oh god. Oh, it seems like such a great idea, doesn't it?
I'm looking forward to sending Plato's head flying 200 meters across the planet's surface.
I am looking forward to shooting you in the face with some form of energy-based shotgun.
Oh, scorched! Nice.
Yeah, turn your face into a fine red mist, sir. But yeah, we could both be completely wrong.
Yes.
But I think up until March is early 2021. Afterwards becomes mid, and then late would be in the last 3 months. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
Actually, the thing I've just thought about is I actually think Frontier's done a pretty good job of keeping up with everything. I know they just did postpone it a little bit, but with everything going on, everybody working remotely, I assume, still. Because, I mean, some of the people at Frontier, they must require reasonably powerful computers for what they're doing. I mean, and you not everybody has. I mean, they might not be the game developers. There's a chance they do like computer games, but they just don't necessarily have a computer able to pull those kind of horsepower at home. So I don't know what they've been doing that. If they allow people to bring like stuff home, or if they made isolated offices for those. I don't know, but they actually been doing.
They could be using render farm kind of stuff instead, and doing it that way. So they're working remotely, or they could be doing a remote desktop onto their more powerful computers that are in the office.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or take them home. Because my wife remotes into her computer in the office, but I mean, she does graphic design, and her computer at home is more powerful than the one in the office. But I imagine it's probably going to be the other way around. A game development company.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody at Frontier is going to need powerful PCs, but the people who are doing like most of the graphic stuff, I would imagine, would need some pretty powerful PCs.
Yeah.
If you're just doing background of the back-end software development, you can do that on a Raspberry if you want to. But
yeah,
some of the graphical stuff, some of the like character design, character animation, that kind of stuff is going to need some horsepower.
Definitely.
I would assume.
I mean, considering they've been working from home, I don't feel like it's adversely affected the release of things. The only thing that's probably had a bit of a knock-on effect is the live streams.
Yeah.
And kind of some of the quality of the live streams. It'll be interesting to see because Frontier have got a live stream on. They said they've got one tomorrow.
They had one today. I think they had.
They had, yeah.
I think they were planning to have one tomorrow together with the launch of the Dev Diary, but then they just threw out an emergency one with Stephen and was it Arthur? I can't remember.
Arthur.
Yeah, I think it was Stephen and Arthur who was on the stream. So they just threw out like an emergency stream today because the thing launched early.
So yeah, I guess it would be interesting to see what they do with the with what is coming. We'll just have to keep an eye out and watch them, because hopefully we'll get some more in-depth details. Because I imagine they're getting a lot of questions now they weren't expecting to get or weren't quite prepared for.
Yes. I would imagine. I mean, I at least have a ton of questions that's like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
The whole suit things, the whole like mechanics around the Apex things, I think is the biggest questions I have. How is the multiplayer aspect of the game gonna work? Oh crap, I'm out of ammo. Oops.
You ran out of ammo?
Yeah, my lasers are still working, so I can still kill anacondas.
I mean, I've just been flying back and forth between an engineer all night because I keep forgetting to do stuff. So that's me. That's what I've been doing tonight. It's not been the most stimulating of gameplay for me, but once I've done it, I will be obviously a much better PvPer. Do that. Go to community goals and murder people.
So what are you actually doing when you're going out for PvP? Do you just like find random people and blow them up, or is it like more ranged things?
They really find you.
Oh, okay.
Like it's kind of like you, especially community goal stuff. I'm not a huge fan, I guess, of PvP, just because people get a little bit salty with it, a little bit over competitive, and I'm not so bothered. I'm like, if I don't fancy it, I just won't do it. And I've only recently thought it might be fun. This community goal, for example, I turned up and I was expecting traders to be coming in thick and fast. And I'm like, right, we're going to run interference on the community goal. We're going to say, okay, sorry, Empire, I don't agree with you guys having a ridiculously huge, overly extravagant funeral for this guy. Why do you need cigars and brandy? It's not a wedding. Like, you don't need these things. You know, it's like, why do you need I need what was it? Fire emeralds, or whatever they were. It's like, you don't need this stuff. It's decadent. It's disgusting. And my plan was to try and stitch them up. Instead of like going out and taking out cargo ships, I ended up just taking
out cargo ships,
being shot at by FDLs all over the place. That was it. Basically, everyone was an FDL, including me, and we were just flying around shooting each other, and it was good fun.
Okay, I know.
Fought against some people, and I must admit, I did gank one person, and I felt awful afterwards. Like, genuinely awful. Like, I tweeted it to say, like, I apologise. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad about it. I won't do it. That kind of thing. It was like, yeah, I'm just gonna. Never mind. Yeah, Pro-Rock, you're right. There was one Orca, but the Orca was genuinely pirating people. But every time a non-PvP ship jumped into the instance, suddenly it was being chased by like 10 FDLs, all trying to get the interdiction in. It was interesting. It was interesting to see. It was an interesting experience. I definitely got pretty messed up by other people. So I'm like, well, let's be on equal footing and leave it down to only skill rather than outfitting.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much stayed completely clear of PvP, mainly because I'm not a very good combat pilot, and as people could probably see during this live stream, my pit management is all over the place.
Yeah, pit management was a big learn. I'm like, okay, well, that's an interesting one. And using things like voice tag might be an idea for some of the macros for pit management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A big learning curve.
Absolutely. Okay, I am actually going to be heading back because I'm out of ammo, and I don't know how much money I managed to collect in the last. Actually, I'm quite amazed that it lasted so long on just one reload. Oh, that's pretty good.
It means you weren't shooting enough. That's not
No,
nice.
let my fighter do a lot of the shooting. He went from 0% harmless, and now he was like 60-something percent, 67%, mostly harmless. So he got like a rank and a half. That's pretty good. Not two lowest ranks, but still. And a few million in bounties, I guess.
Is that are you still working your BGS for your
yeah,
faction?
so today I wanted to go do some combat. Oh, I'm getting interdicted. Because I wanted to begin train that NPC crew member. And since we had some opportunities for combat on the daily orders, so I just went out and did some combat. Now I'm going to head back and hand in some bounties.
Nice. And did you sort out your little skirmish that you had in Leaf
Yes,
Stream?
that has been resolved and peace has been restored. And there's been a series of like steps we now have to go through. Like the agreement we ended up with was basically like the whole thing was of course focused around Leasty, and we're now stepping down in Leasty. We're not doing anything there either. But then there's another system that we then get. So we are now preparing to move in there, and once we're in there, then like there's a whole little like string of events that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And that is now in progress. And yeah.
Well, I'm glad it got resolved in one way or another.
It was actually quite fun. I really enjoyed it.
Good. The diplomacy side of BGS, I have to roleplay it as deployed, and that just basically means everyone else is scum compared to me, and I'm like, no, I'm not impressed. This is my system. And that's what we do. We don't share power. Although we have shared a system at some point with Starstone Enterprises, which is kind of like the broadcast faction,
right.
And then I think we turfed them out. So, but, you know, we're on friendly terms. Like, are you guys doing anything in the system? No. Well, okay, we're going to turf you out so we can get someone else in instead. Is that all right? But yay!
Well, our area is getting a little cramped. We're getting running out of decent systems to move into. There's still some smaller ones, and there's still some of the systems we're in where we haven't taken system control and stuff like that. So there's still a few tasks to do, but you need to get more and more creative if you want to find a way out.
Yeah, we've had some of that. we're having to make spaces in order to do that. Having to kind of like retreat people, then move in, and
we've been doing that for ages.
And
Other factions also in the area and that kind of stuff. And then after they changed the BGS mechanics, expansions is a little bit more difficult to manage.
Yeah.
Because you can't always be sure exactly where you're gonna end up. You can have a pretty good guess, but sometimes, I mean, the problem is if you're not doing an expansion but you're doing an invasion, then you end up with what's the mechanic? It's like you invade the systems within a 20 light year bubble.
Cube,
is it cube or bubble?
I think it's a cube.
Is it okay? So 20 light year cube, where with the faction that has the lowest influence. Right, so if there's no system where you can do a normal expansion, you do an invasion, and then you hit the one with the lowest influence. And you can see what happens if you sit there. You're trying to like keep one down all the way at the bottom, and then just on the last day, it pops up like 0.5%, and someone else drops 0.5% in another of those like 20 systems. Then all of a sudden, your expansion is diverted to some other system you didn't want to go to. So that's interesting to micromanage.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting to micromanage.
Yeah, thankfully, I've got Vortex that does everything for me because he is far more intelligent than I and far more interested than I when it comes to this stuff. I am not that interested in dealing with it. I can manage a couple of systems. We've got 27. I can't do that.
Been busy.
I can't do that. We just kept taking stuff off. It's every couple of weeks. Vortex says, we've got a new system. I'm like, when did we do that? And I feel like that's exactly what deployed would be like as well. Like, oh, we've got a new system, have we? Great. Are they paying taxes? The gist of it. So we'd be like, yeah, are they? Yes, they are. Good. Great. Okay, wonderful.
Oh, I think we didn't even talk about. What about, so if fleet carrier is going to be walkable, like stations, would that mean new modules you can install on your fleet carrier?
Well, they have different levels of lounge.
No, but like if you want the here you can go and sell your plant data thing, or would that just count as part of cartographics?
Or would it be in the redemption office?
Or would it be in the redemption office? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what about, I mean, outfitting hangar? Would that then also include weapons and armor?
Okay, I'm starting to feel like maybe we won't have these things.
On fleet carriers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And another thing, if you can, assuming you can have multiple suits, are these going to move around with you? So you can always just go in and take your suit, or it's going to be, oh, but that suit is on a station 20,000 light years away or whatever, wherever you left it. So you have to ask for a suit transfer, someone to go pick it up from the dry cleaner.
Suit transfer, yeah. It's the, I'm just having my tailor pick it up for me, thank you.
Or maybe it's gonna fly like in like Iron Man style, something like, I don't know.
Yeah. I genuinely have no idea at all.
The question is basically how close are they gonna be to ships? Right?
I think again it comes down to this, we don't have any of the transition information.
No, exactly.
And that's what's lacking. And I feel like I really could do with some of that, seeing what some of that looks like. For us to know this stuff. And I think that would leave a lot of relief for people as well, where they'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine then. And that's good.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that anymore. But at the moment, everything's a bit of a to worry.
I hope we get our suits with us, so we always have access to them if we can have multiple ones. And I hope it's gonna, because I hope there's gonna be an easy way to swap between suits. So it's not like you have to go and say, okay, I'm gonna take this module off and this module off and this module off and put. Basically, imagine if you only had one ship and you had to refit it every single time with the right modules for what you're gonna do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope we're going to basically just have a whole suit you can have pre-fitted and pre-engineered or whatever you're going to be able to do with it. Just like say, okay, change of clothes.
And also I'm hoping that when you pick a base suit, you can switch them out as well. Because that was something that sounded like you pick a base suit and then you're...
Yeah, I did ask that of Frontier. Say like, so, because the way they put it was, so you choose your base suit and okay, can I change my mind?
Yeah.
Can I have more than one? Can I have all of them, please? Because I might want to do mining one day and then combat the next, and then some exploration. And if I've chosen, because if you can't change it, then you're basically getting a class.
Yeah, which I don't want to do.
Oh, I
They
don't
talk
want
about
that.
flexibility.
I don't want that at all. I don't
No,
want to be
because-
locked in and say, you have now chosen to the miner base suit, so you are now a miner. That is now your job. And you are forever going to suck at combat.
What I don't want to happen is I don't want it to work like you're buying a suit and it's a mining suit and you're stuck with it now and you have to outfit it for combat. It's like buying a Type 9 and trying to make a combat Type 9.
Exactly.
There are some rare use case scenarios where that will work, but
most of them
you've got to have insane skills. But mostly, no, it won't. I'm hoping that you will be able to change it, because otherwise it's like, hey, here's your underwear. You're wearing them for life. It's like, well, I wish I'd chosen something a little bit more comfortable and more breathing space. Thank you. It's like, nope, you're stuck with this now. This is what you've got.
And the problem is, what then's going to happen is people are going to find the suit that's the most all-round, and that's the one everybody's going to pick.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to lock themselves in. And they did I think they kind of hinted at it, that they said, oh, they're gonna focus on people still having a lot of choices and they can still do whatever they want. I just really don't hope that we're gonna be locked into those choices. We can always, and again, I don't mind that we go. I mean, yes, you have to go pay for those suits with in-game credits, and they're gonna be a ton of paint jobs for them, different layouts and small decals, and you can get a little like fluffy toy hanging out of your gun or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a key ring.
Yeah, exactly. Keychain hanging from your gun or something like that.
I don't think there needs to be, like, if there is suit customization, I mean, there's going to be this whole kind of, I'm going to assume you change it in your Hollow Me. That's how you would do it.
Most likely,
I think, or there's going to be a new menu that looks like that, because I think you should be able to at least...
I think Hollow Me is going to go away.
Really?
Yeah, not for maybe the resculpting your face, but that whole part of it, I think it's going to be completely redesigned. We're not going to be looking anything like what we have today. Because what we have in Hollow Me is basically just changing cosmetics.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Hollow Me interface is not the best. Sorry, but...
It's not great.
It's
a lot of menus. It's a character creation screen
that
you can access whenever you like.
And I think I want something that's a little closer to the outfitting screen, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the Hollow Me, I think it's going to be changed significantly. Unless that's just going to be the way you just handle cosmetics, that's through Hollow Me. Maybe. I don't know.
Could be. I think we might end up with like a menu that looks similar to Hollow Me for outfitting when it comes to picking your suit and stuff. And I'm going to assume that you purchase it and it's stored in an inventory somewhere, and very much like materials, you take it with you from ship to ship. For the sake of ease, because you've got to get to a certain point where gameplay is so much more important than realism.
Absolutely.
And I want good gameplay, and I want enjoyable gameplay, and I don't want it to feel like a grind. That's the thing. And obviously, Elite Dangerous is known for being a bit grindy, and normally I get roasted for saying a bit grindy. But it's known for that. But that's okay, because it's known for it, so you know what you're doing. But if they add to it and make it worse, that's not good. But I'm pleased to see that you won't be walking around stations, or it looks like you won't be walking around stations for miles before you find the bar.
No, it seems to be a manageable size.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed the windows on the side of the Corvette?
What about them?
I just never noticed them.
Oh.
I don't know how many hours I have this ship, but I never noticed the windows on the side of it.
No, I think, well, as in whereabouts on the side of it?
Right on the tip. Right on the tip. It's like a hallway, and then underneath it, like on the belly, there's also a hallway there with like some doors.
Now I have to know. Let's have a look. Because obviously you get the on the Anaconda, you've got what looks like an observation bay at the front of it.
Yes.
At the tip. And you do have some corridors. Not to mention there are some gaps in the Anaconda in the model, which, now I've mentioned it, everyone go look at your Anacondas, look for the gaps in it. It will never be the same again. I've ruined it for you. You're welcome. But I mean, I've got holes in my space station, so there are certain spots in Places Tyranny where you're coming into land and you can see space on the outside. So
perfect.
I don't feel so bad about it. All right, so you said there's windows on the side. What, like towards the front?
Yes, so you have way out at the front. You have those two thrusters, right? The maneuvering thrusters. And between those, there's like a long glass corridor.
You can see the doors through it.
It's not just me who's never noticed them.
I have never looked.
Nope, me neither. Like
never looked. And yeah, they are.
And also, if you go down to the belly, there's also a longer corridor down there.
Oh my god. How have I never... This is a mind-blown moment.
Yeah, I was just opening around the Corvette, just for some idle B-roll as we were just talking. And then suddenly noticed the reflection in the windows, like, what is that? Okay,
well, there's more. There are more corridors, or more windows.
Yeah.
You're kind of like looking, in the grey section, almost if you were to look at the side profile.
Oh, right.
Directly underneath.
Yeah, in the what looks like just before the wing goes out.
Mm.
Right, yeah.
What a thing to happen. Like, have a mind-blowing moment. I'm like, what?
I just spent more time actually looking at the models in detail.
But yeah, if you look at the landing gear on the Corvette, it doesn't have any steps on it.
No, it does not.
It did, but I'm going to assume you'd come out from the SRV bay, because every ship has an SRV bay.
Yeah, because there's no obvious way to get into the Corvette, I think, from the ground. There are places where you could say, like, right at the front, there's a small thing that could look like a hatch or something, but... I don't know.
That's going to be... Well, we will find out, won't we? I suppose. It's going to be something we'll find out when we land on the planet together to settle the bet. And we will...
And shoot each other in the face.
Yeah, and shoot each other in the face. Or maybe just one of us shot in the face. You never know. You just never know.
I just hope that the transition is not just going to be fade to black and you're on the ground. That there's going to be just a little bit, just not to be much, just a little bit of animation of you walking down some stairs or an elevator or whatever.
Yeah, there has to be something extra. You have to have your Neil Armstrong moment. They've mentioned it, they've said it. Neil Armstrong, as far as I'm aware, did not teleport onto the moon.
You clearly underestimate the technology back then.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, look what they were able to do with those, something as powerful as a Casio calculator. One of them. But no, I was going to say I'm going to be rounding my stream up now, because otherwise I won't have a voice tomorrow if I'm not careful. It's been lovely talking to you. It's been a good chat. We've both pointed things out that the other one didn't know about.
We'll do it again on Saturday.
Oh yeah, and we can tell Kaizen where he's wrong. It'll be brilliant.
Right. Is Kai wrong?
I mean, even if he's not, I might.
Oh, right. Okay, so just okay, fair enough.
It's one of them. I haven't seen him say anything about it other than that he liked it, and I'm going to tell him he's wrong about liking it. But you never know. You never know, because we haven't got Burrs to be mean to.
No, but I have been talking to Burr about having some pre-recorded insults.
Yeah, I don't know about having him do pre-recorded insults for me. I feel like it's a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Dickish. And also, I like the fact that when you interact with Burr directly, you can go a little bit faster than him with insults. Interrupt him, and it's good. It's that live action stuff is really you can't bottle that. It's an energy.
Okay. Anyway, that'll be on Saturday doing the Super Frienders live stream, where they're going to be going into a lot more details with with this whole update, we're gonna have a lot more people as well. So hopefully some more point of view. Somebody has spotted something we didn't. Maybe, perhaps, we'll see.
And more eyes are always good on something. So
yeah, exactly.
Definitely have a look. And that is at 3 p.m. BST.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
3 p.m. BST. That's right. BST.
On Saturday.
On Saturday. Yeah. This Saturday, 3 p.m. BST. Also, anyone in my chat, if you haven't already, you should probably go and subscribe to Down to Earth Astronomy. You on Twitch as well?
Yes, I am.
Follow on Twitch too. And you're more than welcome to come and join my Discord if you like. And that goes to anyone, any of your viewers as well. You're welcome to come and tell me I'm wrong about stuff in chat. You can if you like. Same way, I'll encourage anyone who's watching for mine to go and do the same. It's like, why not? No harm in that whatsoever.
And of course, I would love if everybody would go and do the same thing for Plater. Go over check out his channel. You already have videos out, right, on the update from today, or the dev diary?
Yes, it is. Already up. We've got a good 6.5 minute breakdown of stuff that you might not have spotted, and a bit of me taking my brain and pouring it into a video.
Nice.
Having watched it repeatedly, and yes, it sounds like I'm talking quickly because I was rushing to get it done. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's been a little hectic with this one. Hopefully the media sites can get their act together and not like look at the calendar maybe before they post an article. I don't know. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining, Plater. I'll talk to you.
And thank you. You take care.
Bye. Okay, that is down. Yeah, you're actually right. Derek said, learning something every day. Yeah. That's why you should spend a little bit of time just actually looking at the ships you're flying, not just at the stat pages for them. I don't know how I've missed that. Now that you can't unsee it now. Now it's just... Yeah, okay. There's a large corridor at the back. Yeah, there's one here as well. Is that the one you're referring to? Henrik? Like, there's some very, very small windows there. Oh, on the Anaconda. Ah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a good, like casual chat. We got to talk about both the update, but also the dev diary, but also just random like chit chat about things. That's always nice. Anyway, I think it's time for me to call the stream. If you weren't here at the beginning, I do have a video. Wow. Voice is also about to fail, but I do have a video on the dev diary that's going to be released in, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes as soon as the stream is down. I'm gonna upload it. I need to make a thumbnail and tag and all that other metadata stuff. Then that will be published. You can go and watch it. We did watch it at the beginning, but even if you did watch it, I would really appreciate it if you would go over and watch it anyway again. Maybe drop a like on it. And while we're at it, maybe also go down and drop a like on this stream. If you enjoyed it, also, can we just get a final look at the straw polls that we've been running today? Let me see. Where are we at? Go to results. There we go. We ended up at 69% saying that they were very excited and 9% saying that they thought it was awesome. That is a total of 78% that it says either excited or awesome, with 15% that just asks where their dog is. So where we at 79 plus 50, that's 84. That's right. Yeah, of course, 94, because we have 6% that says nothing new. So vast majority seems to be really excited about this update. I am too. In the chat, you will now find a whole host of links. You will find links for both Streamlabs, where you can do donations if you want to support the channel. You can also find a link for Patreon if you want to support on a more regular basis. And of course, all Patrons get a discount at a merch store where you can buy yourself some mugs, like, where's the camera? There, or a t-shirt, like that one. And in chat, you will also find a link for Discord, where you can go join the community, come and have a chat. I'll probably be hanging out over on, what time is it? Yeah, I'll be hanging out over on Discord here after the stream, so you're more than welcome to come over and say hi. nice casual community where we not only play League, but also all other kinds of space and non-space games. Basically just a nice place to hang out and have a chat while you're playing your games. So, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to like the stream if you did. If you're watching on Twitch, go down and hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you guys in space.